Hello, and welcome to the Entertainment Audio Show with Jordan and Lane. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Lane.
Thank you for being here on this very special episode of the Entertainment Audio Show. Uh, we thought it'd be a great idea since a couple weeks ago we had San Diego Comic-Con. You heard us talk a little bit about that on the last episode. But we also had D23 this past weekend, and they dropped a bunch of news on this on those days.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Gave us a lot to talk about, a lot of things that we were probably going to talk about on this podcast at some point. So we figured, why not go ahead and do it?
I'm so excited about this. I just want to say that. I'm so sorry about. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. All the cool announcements that happened were just amazing. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about some of our favorites.
And I don't want to sound weird about this, but doing a con / D23 wrap up video kind of makes me feel like we're doing an actual legitimate podcast.
For the first time ever. No, okay. Okay.
8
one
months
of these days. Later. I will say this: unfortunately, we didn't get to go to the Comic-Con or go to D23. So a lot of what we're hearing is from friends or other people. And so, but I love the fact that that's the case, and yet we're still getting to react. We're still getting to talk about some of our favorite stuff that's happened. I'm hoping one day we can go and actually participate. That would be cool, huh?
Yeah, I mean, my goal this year, before we ever thought about having a podcast, or at least this one, I actually was going to try to go to D23 this year, until lots of things kind of got in the way. They changed the way they did things out there. My plan was kind of scattered. But that's okay. That's okay. They do it every 2 years. So,
well, maybe one day we can both go together and then
sounds like
live tweet like all the other people.
Oh yeah, because I remember I would randomly start sending you things. This is D23 related, which we'll get more in detail about that in a minute. But I was randomly sending you things about how hey, they're doing pre-stuff all week here in Anaheim for D23. This random restaurant here in Anaheim's doing Lorcana tournaments.
I'm a Lorcana player too, but where I live, nobody plays. Gosh dang it.
So that's the goal. In 2 years, we got to get Lane to D23 so he can play some Lorcana in Anaheim.
Well, I even wait. You told me that even next year, I should make my way to Disney World. Maybe we can...
Oh yeah, because they did announce. Because is it Ravensburger? I think it's the company that created Lorcana.
I think so.
They announced that next year in 2025, they're gonna have their Lorcana World Championships here in Walt Disney World. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, Lane needs to know.
Lane definitely needed to know that. Lane also needs to make sure he has money to go, because Lane's going to spend money on cards he shouldn't. I'm gonna have to have a suitcase just for cards and other merchandise I pick up.
You're gonna roll up to the place and be like, I found my people.
And I feel welcome at home. So a lot got announced. Not just that, but one of the things I'm excited about, I know you've seen some of, but my obsession with space is what makes me so excited about this as well. Star Trek.
This was a San Diego Comic-Con thing, right?
This was, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about Star Trek. That's just the first thing out of my mouth. Lorcana and Star Trek. No. But one of the coolest things ever to me is this new show that I am suddenly absolutely drawing a blank on the name. I just literally had it in front of my eyes. Strange New Worlds. There it is.
There it is. Well, he was literally talking about this right before we hit record.
Yes. Not 10 seconds before. But just oh my gosh, the whole show. Two of my favorite episodes are opposite end of the spectrums. And I think it's from season 2, where it's this gritty, dark episode that kind of lends into talking about PTSD and stuff like that. And one of the characters goes through these crazy moments, and they talk about it and what it means to him, and he ends up doing stuff. And then the very next episode is a musical,
Hmm.
and I got to see a Klingon breakdance, and it was fantastic. It was no, maybe it wasn't breakdance, but it was like a Klingon rap battle. You remember the rap battles of history?
I do. I have
It,
the Epic Rap Battle History CDs.
so yes, it literally felt like that. A very confused Klingon rapping, and it was beautiful. And this was just after like the magnificent, like almost Dick Van Dyke, like Mary Poppins, or gosh darn it, what's the name of that movie? I'm kicking myself. The Car.
The Car. Christine?
The No, it's not a Disney movie.
Well, that's
There's
not
a
that definitely
movie.
wasn't that definitely wasn't a Disney movie I just said.
No. Sorry, no. I'm thinking it's got Dick Van Dyke in it.
Oh, oh goodness.
Chitty Chitty Bang
Chitty
Bang.
Bang Bang.
Oh,
Yes.
that's gonna bug me. But the music is very esque, like that period esque, or even before, or like um, Bye Bye Birdie, like the very like that sort of. I think that's a musical. I've never seen it.
Bye Bye
Whoops.
Birdie is a musical.
Okay, cool.
I know this
Then
because my brother was in a stage production of it.
oh, or even like The Music Man, specifically, like that era type music, kinda, but modernized. And it's really, really cool to see both ends of the spectrum literally next to each other. And so seeing this episode, they actually had a teaser trailer for this season. And I'm already annoyed because I'm looking forward to it. But also already annoyed because the story is going to be weird and I love it and hate it at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But there was so I'm super looking forward to that. And then they also announced that's not coming out though till next year, but I can get my Star Trek fix because in October they're releasing I think it's the 5th and final season of Lower Decks,
Mm-hmm.
which I think you'd actually think is hilarious. There's going to be moments in it you're going that's a little much because it's a young adult animated show. It's not for kids.
Gotcha.
Um
Gotcha.
but it's hilarious because these guys are on the lower decks. They are like your ensigns and I think your lieutenant junior grades. In one of the episodes, they made it like two of them made it to lieutenant junior grade, and they got a root like a. They became roommates on the ship,
They were
and
roommates.
it's. But no, but like, it was just this hilarious moment because the one of the guys that got lieutenant junior grade, he actually got the room to himself first, and he kept getting what he thought was the worst room on deck, and it was the funniest thing. Turned out something could have been done about it. But then he got the other guy to be a roommate with him because he thought, oh, we'll get a better room if there's two of us. No, they got a room on the same deck with the same issue, and the other guy fixed the issue in 10 seconds. Hilarious. Um, but I'm gonna be able to get my Star Trek fix with that, and with Star Trek Online as well, with some fun stuff happening there. But and I know that you've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but there was one other announcement that from San Diego Comic Con
Mm-hmm.
that I've gotten a chance to mess with. I know I don't think you did. Was that Marvel Rivals?
Yeah,
I don't.
the video game.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked. I know we
Um,
talked a little bit about it last time, but I've heard you've gotten to actually play it.
I have. I don't remember if I had already mentioned about getting to play it. I think I had played it a little bit during our last recording, but they announced at San Diego Comic Con two new characters. They announced Thor, Odinson, and they announced Jeff the Land Shark.
Jeff the
And
Land Chart.
and I immediately was just like, that's an adorable character that I will probably never play. He has become one of my mains because one of my favorite things is that he dives, instead of diving underwater, he dives into the ground and as he's swimming, he does like he hums to himself. But he doesn't just hum. He hums a song that sounds an awful lot like a knockoff Jaws theme, and it's fantastic.
That is
I
hilarious.
recommend. I genuinely think that you need to get a updated system so that when the game comes out, we can play.
It's scheduled to come out officially next year, correct?
I know, yeah, and I'm mad because now the beta's ended, and I know what's gonna happen. Eventually, I'm hoping at least. I'm hoping they eventually put Captain America into the game because he's not in the game yet, which is surprising.
That is
But I
surprising.
also, I also
It's like
know what's
another
gonna
video
happen.
game. It's like another video game recently that decided to take Captain America out early. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Marvel Avengers game.
Yeah.
You don't remember that how in the story they take Captain America out like really early.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I I bought that game and played it, and no, I literally only played Captain America. Like that's the thing. Me, I love space, and I love Captain America and other Shield characters, like
what other
characters with
what else
shields.
what else do you need?
That's all I care. So I already know that if slash when they inevitably put Captain America into Marvel Rivals, he will be my main. When I say my main, I don't mean I'm going to dabble in these. No, he's going to be like the character. If I don't get that character, I'm going to get a penalty. No, I'm just kidding. But like he'll be like I'll get a penalty if I don't get that character. No, he will be the character that I try to get immediately. I will learn his moves and I will do my dang best. I may not be the best at him, but he's gonna be the one that if skins come out, that's when I'm putting my money into. And I got more
Okay.
video game stuff I want to talk about later, but that's not announced until D23.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and there was some other fun stuff though at San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, there's some stuff that broke the internet.
You okay?
We'll talk about that thing in a second because Marvel did have their panel. They didn't really unveil a whole lot for the things that they kind of focused on. They showed
Yeah,
footage for we talked about at the end of the podcast last week. They talked about Cap 4. They showed footage from that. They showed footage from Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four.
still love the
They
suit that he
in
walked out in.
Yeah,
Sorry, Thunderbolts.
yes,
Remember the
yeah.
whole
Oh
thing? I
yeah,
just said I love characters with shields. Red
and
Guardian.
David Red Guardian David Harbour came out in costume and then yelled at everybody else for not
We got in
doing it.
costume.
uh,
Fantastic.
but then Marvel's like, how should we end this panel? Let's do it by completely breaking the internet.
Oh, oh,
So
I know what you're
first
talking about
off,
now.
they announced that the Russo brothers are returning to direct both Avengers 5, we'll talk about that in a second, and Secret Wars, Avengers 6. They announced at the same time that Avengers 5 is no longer Avengers Kang Dynasty. It has been renamed to Avengers Doomsday. And we all know what that means. We're getting Doctor Doom. And they decided, let's go ahead and tell the world who's playing Doctor Doom.
This didn't just break the internet. This broke like my mental capacity.
I'm pretty sure Twitter crashed too. I'm like, they announced, and I've seen the footage. It was a brilliant way of doing it. But they did announce that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. What are your thoughts on this?
I have kind of mixed feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but they are immediately overshadowed by pure excitement. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say it
I can say
because
that here because I know a lot of people are already kind of trashing it, but I'm gonna hold reserve till it gets here. Like I'm not gonna trash them until I see it.
but
There's a reason why they did it. You're just not gonna cast Robert Downey Jr. again for no reason.
I've just seen it so much, and I don't know a ton about Doctor Doom other than what I've
Right.
seen him in media already. And I've seen him in a couple comic books and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm actually reading on Marvel Unlimited. I don't think I told you this. I recently signed up for Marvel Unlimited again, and this time I'm actually paying for it instead of a free month. But I'm actually starting to read the Ultimate Avengers,
Oh yeah,
and
oh
he
yeah.
pops up in that as one of the good guys at the very, very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have this feeling, like I figure we know that he's likely going to be, because it is Robert Downey Jr. He's not back from the dead.
Right. This is not, and we don't even
This is
know if
not
this is
coming
going to
back.
be Tony. We probably be a Tony Stark variant in some way, but we don't know yet.
But
So
here's
I'm
my other
gonna.
question. Now that I'm actually thinking about this, real quick, I'm so sorry. What if we never actually see his face?
I don't think you paid Robert Downey Jr. money without seeing Robert Downey Jr.'s face.
That's true, but I feel like he's voiced things before.
He has, but this is a different. Like if they were going to go for a voice, they would have just got
Gotten
somebody else.
a sound like, I don't know, because then part of me is genuinely wondering if they're just not gonna like, if because I feel like he probably said something along the lines of like what Harrison Ford did, or what Hugh Jackman did for Wolverine. If the part is right, I will come back. And I feel like Robert Downey Jr. actually has recently. I've seen him in a lot of stuff where he's basically become a chameleon, where he puts on some makeup and a bald cap. He's a completely other dude, and it takes
Oh
me
yeah,
20
yeah,
minutes to realize it's him.
yeah.
Um,
And that's why I
so
say I hold reservation. But I mean, you can't say that they have an incredible actor to do this with.
oh yeah. But did you see his Instagram post like right after the announcement?
The different mask, same
Same task.
something, same task. That's what he has. Yes.
That's when I stopped and went, hold up. This is what makes me 1,000% believe it's a variant. Now, I do believe there's a chance that they may do it the other way, but I think while you're like, no way, I feel like there's like a 5% chance that they do him like masked up the whole time. But
Well,
I definitely agree that there's a higher probability that he's unmasked and that he's just Doctor Doom
yeah,
and that he's a variant.
yeah. Apparently, there is a comic from 2004 where there's a universe where Tony Stark is Doctor Doom.
Mhm.
I don't know if we're gonna go that route. Many people online don't think the story itself lends to that, but who knows? We shall see. We got what I think we got 2 years before we have to worry about that. I think it's a
Can't
2026
even
for that one.
I can't even like really think straight when I think about this stuff because I'm so excited and so pumped and just realizing the potential of what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those franchises for me that I was very much kind of starting to almost fall out of love with. Um, just to the degree that I don't know. For me, it's Marvel has been hit or miss lately with more and more miss. I feel like, but with some good ones. Now I feel like this is how they're going to pull back a lot of the um people that kind of stopped watching at Endgame.
Right.
So part of me wonders if this is not just a grab to bring those guys back, or if it's truly like they genuinely thought he's the only guy to play the character. I don't know. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts? Kind of on the whole thing or like as the thing as a whole. I mean,
As like the Doomsday as a whole.
or like like the whole concept of them bringing him back. I know we've been talking about this, and you've given your opinion a little bit, but I don't know,
Uh,
like your opinion on the whole thing about Robert Downey Jr. playing the character, about them turning it from Kang to Doomsday
I will
specifically.
say, I will say, I'm not gonna lie to say I'm not a little bit bummed to see that we're to not see how the King story was going to unravel.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were very much over it and didn't get caught. I was curious to see how it was going to work. So there is a part of me that's very disappointed that we're not going to see how that story unfolds.
Hmm.
Um, But I would say I have faith that it'll turn out okay. I'm hopefully faith that'll turn out okay. Hope that it will be great. We shall see. I know Secret Wars is scheduled to come out in 2027 currently. We'll see if that happens. So I guess in 3 years, if everybody's still listening to us in 3 years, we can talk about it a bit more there.
That would be. Hopefully, we've got more people listening to us
Hopefully
by
so.
the time
Hopefully
the
so.
3 years is around. Maybe we
If
can
not,
be like at a premiere or something.
and if not, we'll still get to talk to each other about it while recording ourselves, talking to the Void. Not
Hello, the Void.
hello,
We
Void.
appreciate you
Cassandra
being here.
Nova, are you there? No, you're not. Never mind. I forgot. You're obliterated.
Oh, this took a turn.
Anyways, speaking of turning, let's hit into D23.
Oh my gosh, excellent segue. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I have this. Oh my gosh. So, okay, my brain is not functioning after that. My bad. Okay, there was a lot of D23 though.
There was
Like
a lot.
they.
So we're probably not probably I won't say probably. We're not going to talk about everything that was announced at D23 because they did do two 3-hour long presentations. One's for their
Ah.
entertainment division and one for their experiences in like parks division.
Mhm.
So we're gonna kind of break it down a little bit. Now I know I'm gonna start first with a smaller panel they had in the middle of the day that I was actually pretty excited to get some information about, and then you didn't know even happened.
No,
Uh,
I think I was still at work.
I think you were, because when I brought it up while we were kind of outlining this episode, I said this, and you're like, "What's that?"
What's this thing that I missed?
Yeah, because I think it would have been. I think the panel itself was at 12:45 out there, so it would have been
Oh,
like
then
3:45 here.
then I definitely like at least missed it because I was not anywhere near my computer at that point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they talked about four Marvel animated shows in this panel that are coming over the next few years. Three of them, I think, come out next year. One of them is a ways out, but we've known about for a minute.
Okay, so I'm sorry as a forewarning to anybody that might be listening. Anything that Jordan is about to say, I legitimately have not heard before. I want to reiterate this. There's a high probability he's going to say something, and I'm going to actually have a reaction live in this recording.
I have these
I'm so sorry.
after you told me you haven't heard any of this. I restructured how I was going to talk about the shows.
Okay.
Uh,
I think I put down the drink I've been sipping on. I'm my hands are not on my keyboard, so you shouldn't hear smashing. I think I am ready.
I'm so excited for this. uh, okay, here we go. So I'm going to talk about the first one first. Now, I think all four of these shows you've at least heard about. They just kind of
I
gave
don't
more
know.
information on it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the show Eyes of Wakanda.
I've
Have you heard
never
of?
heard of that.
Okay, so it again, this all four of these shows are animated.
Okay.
Um, they're done by Marvel Animation.
Mm-hmm.
So Eyes of Wakanda. If I believe what I was reading up about it, it's supposed to be essentially like a history of keeping Wakanda secret.
Oh.
They had the showrunners and some of the artists at the show talking about it, and they said they used an art style that Marvel Animation has never used before. Uh, they did
Oh.
they did show footage. I was not able to see that footage has not been released, and I'm not going to talk about leaks that I may or may not have seen. I did not see leaks for this yet. I did not see leaks for this yet. But
You haven't seen like any like images or anything?
no, I haven't seen anything about this. I just know what was
I need
described to
pictures.
me in
Okay.
a recap thing
Then
about it.
why won't then tell me?
Well, I mean, that's what I know.
Oh dang it. Okay. My bad.
I would say I haven't looked into leaks for this thing. Uh,
I
I tend to
Google
avoid
exists
leaks for the
for
most part. So unless it's been officially released, I tend not to look at it until it's officially released by the company. Um, but this show, I don't know if the entire show is going to focus on this character, but it has a new character by the name of Noni.
Oh,
And from what I've heard, well, described to me in, or not described to me personally, but what I've heard about the footage they showed was that the first time you see Noni in the footage, she is I hope I get this correct. She's trying to infiltrate ships that look like they're from like the 1800s, like colonial era
oh,
ships that have a flag with a golden lion on them. And that's all I know.
wait, wait, wait.
I actually did see a picture of the flag. I just didn't realize until this moment that's like, wait a minute, that's what I saw on Twitter.
Question: was it the full body of a lion?
No, it's just a head.
Just
Like
the.
a front look at like a lion in its mane.
Was there anything else on the flag?
No, it's like I think it was just a black flag with a golden lion on it. And it may have been something different that I saw, but because like I said, I haven't looked at any leaks yet, or I'm not going to look at any leaks.
Did it show? I'm sorry. I'm a person that I don't like leaks, but I go looking for them anyway
Right, right.
because I have no self control, I guess, when it comes to this stuff.
Hmm.
I'm literally on Google right now looking at golden lion flag,
Okay.
like, and
Um,
I'm not seeing anything.
Other things I know about the show, I do know that I don't know if you know who Mark Bernardin is. I don't know if that Bernardin. There, you go, Mark Bernardin. He's a comic book writer. He's a show writer. Um, he was one of the writers on I think one or two of the episodes for the show, and he legit tweeted out when they officially announced it, "You're not ready."
Oh, okay.
Uh, but I am, sir.
I
I
don't
very much
know,
am.
man. If
Um,
somebody like that, okay, what's his name again? Tell me. I'm so sorry.
it's Mark with a C, Marc, and Bernardin, so Bernardin.
Okay, because I'm pulling him up right now on. That's a weird thing to have on his reel. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this.
The show.
About. Oh. Oh! Sorry. I'm looking at stuff that he wrote. Did you say he was a writer of this?
He's one of the writers on one of the episodes, yeah.
Okay.
And he's wrote
His.
comics for Marvel in the past.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I pulled
'Cause
up his IMDb. He
because
wrote an episode of Batman Cape Crusader
he did.
and an episode of The Legend of Vox Machina.
He did, yes.
I love that show. Anyway, I'm
Um,
sorry.
I do know that he was writing for Marvel when Eternals came out because he said he was going to be nice to it so he can keep his job. He
Oh
said that
gosh.
on his podcast. He does a podcast with Kevin Smith. And he was
Oh,
like,
that's beautiful.
yeah, so Kevin Smith is like, I enjoyed it a lot. And Mark was like, I'm going to be nice because I want to keep my job.
Well, I know that it looked like he was a writer also in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot too. So
He
that
was,
makes
yeah.
a lot of sense. They're friends.
And the Masters of the Universe revival that Kevin did.
I did see that. I did see that. Okay, that's one show that I'm already like stupidly excited about. Thanks.
Yeah, so let's go to the next one.
Oh gosh. Number two.
So this is a show that it was announced. I think it might have been San Diego Comic Con last year. It is an expansion of an episode of What If. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
Marvel Zombies.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh, this
I,
one here is probably not going to be your speed.
No, it's really not. For those at
Because
home, I don't do Halloween. I'm gonna be honest. Just in general, it's just not my jam. Um, I'm excited that people are excited about this. Does that
I'm
count?
excited for it. I'm excited for it because I'm going to talk a little bit about it. What has me excited?
I'm still probably gonna watch it, but it's just not
'Cause
gonna be like my favorite thing.
the episode itself, I really liked. I really liked the episode they did for In What If. This is an expansion of that show. It seems like it's not coming out for a while. This is the one they're like it's going to be a minute. It's only 4 episodes. You watched the Marvel Zombies episode, correct?
Yeah,
That was rated TV
actually, I
14.
did enjoy it. Oh, what is this one
Marvel
rated?
Marvel Zombies, the show, is going to be rated TV mature.
Oh, we're gonna see brains.
Yeah, and you saw what they pulled off in TV 14. Like they
Yeah,
were on the
yeah.
line. They were on the
We're
line.
gonna see brains
It's gonna
without a
be
doubt.
brutal.
We're gonna see a Tom Holland knockoff get his block knocked off.
Uh, I don't know if they'll do that. Spider-Man's too popular for them to do that.
Well, no, it's
Uh,
specifically in the zombies universe. I mean,
oh, okay, yeah.
like when I say not like they're gonna rip his head open. That's what I mean, and they're gonna eat his brains. This might be
Yes.
a little much for the YouTube algorithm. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Um, they also showed footage from that. I got a little bit of description from there. The only thing that I remember is that they showed that Shang-Chi is going to be a big part of it. And
Oh,
that there's a scene where you see Shang and Katie fighting zombies in their red valet vest from the beginning of the movie. And it
okay.
seems like at some point Shang is bit by a zombie on the arm.
Oh no.
Win Wu, his father, shows up and starts murking zombies with the tin rings. And then, from the description I read, gives the tin rings to Shang to wear on his arm to hold the infection from getting to the rest of his body.
So while he's not a good father in the regular MCU, he's a good father in Zombies universe. Got it.
Maybe. I mean,
A decent father who probably ends up dying to a zombie himself.
yeah. Probably,
Just
yeah,
awkward
probably.
pause. Yeah, the moment he hands over the rings, he's gonna die. That's a given at this point. I'm so sorry for anybody holding out hope otherwise.
Uh, so that's all I got on Marvel Zombies. But I'm just sitting here thinking what they did in TV 14. I don't
Oh
can
gosh.
imagine what they're gonna do in TV mature.
I'm actually like I'm now just curious if nothing else. I'm genuinely just curious to see what they're gonna do and what they're gonna get away with on this one.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one. This to the you may know about this. They announced this a while ago. They announced it at D23 2 years ago. Expanded on it a bit much more last year at Comic Con. Got a little more information about it with the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show. Have you heard anything about this?
Not really,
Okay, cool.
actually. I've
So
seen bits and pieces and seen some like animated uh artist concepts, I think,
yeah,
but
because it's
nothing
got
else for
like
that.
the comic book art style. The
Yeah.
main idea of this story, because they did officially confirm this at this panel, was that it's a multiverse story. So it just takes place in a different universe. It's that Peter's origin story.
Okay.
And that he gets bit by a spider, which is brought to his high school on his first day of high school. Because originally the show was called Spider-Man Freshman Year. Uh,
Oh, I do remember that actually.
yeah. The spider is brought to his high school through a sorcerer portal, while Doctor Strange is fighting an entity that the person I was reading's article didn't know. And the spider kind of falls out and bites him. So Doctor Strange appears in this show.
Interesting.
The big part of the multiverse comes into this is instead of Peter coming home to see Tony Stark talking to Aunt May and becoming his mentor, becoming Peter's
Mm-hmm.
mentor. Norman Osborn
Oh.
is there talking to Aunt May and winds up mentoring Peter. Now, if you know the difference between Tony Stark and Norman Osborn, one of them's morals are a little bit more
Gray
swayed
area.
towards the not gray area. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, more of a gray area. So it's really interesting to see how a Spider-Man mentored by Norman Osborn can show up. And they say we're going to see a lot of suits in this, which if you think Norman Osborn, Oscorp created suits instead of Stark Industries created suits, is actually a really cool idea.
I just pictured a purple and green Spider-Man.
Have you ever seen the white and black Spider-Man suit from the comics?
One of them, I think.
That is one of the suits that they did show that was going to be in it. It's a white and black.
Oh.
They did release a picture that has like 50 characters on it that are going to appear in the show.
Oh gosh.
They also kind of made the big announcement with this was they announced who's playing Norman Osborn, and I don't know if you're gonna know who this actor is. His name is Coleman Domingo. He more recently that I know he was in the more recent movie of The Color Purple, but I know he's in a lot of things as well. I remember when the news broke that he had a meeting with Marvel. All the scoopers and internet people started immediately saying that he was recasting Jonathan Majors as Kang. But nope, playing Norman Osborn.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's all I can really remember about what they said about that. But here's the big one. You ready for this?
The show or the new, like, still talking about Spider-Man?
The show. I'm sorry, your next show.
Okay.
That's all I knew about Spider-Man. This
Okay.
show I know
I was able
about.
to find some pictures, and I'm very excited about it. So okay.
So this show I know you know about.
Uh-oh.
Because you've watched 2 seasons of it.
What if?
What if season 3? They had a piece they talked about it.
When?
I didn't get a date.
Oh.
But they talked about one of the, at least the piece I could find out. They were talking about one of the episodes, and it's an episode I know that you brought up because you saw. Was it a few months ago they released some pictures? You remember the Gundams?
Yes.
They talked about this.
Oh.
So they showed like a trailer for it. The beginning of the episode starts as an 80s animated Saturday morning cartoon action show called Go Avengers Hero of the Gamma Wars. Gamma World, I'm sorry, Gamma World. So Go Avengers Heroes of the Gamma World. Where the Avengers wear mech suits. So you see apparently they show the beginning of the episode, but then it is done in an 80s art style, like an 80s action cartoon Saturday morning art style, like a Thundercats Transformers animation. I think I broke your brain. But then when the episode actually starts, it goes back to the usual, what if episodes, because apparently it jumps to the present day, where we see the Avengers and they all have Gundams. There's a Sam Wilson. There's a Moon Knight. Who was the other ones they said?
Wait.
There's a few others. I don't think I should tell you this part.
Please tell me this part. Please tell me this part.
It would be one of those things where if you didn't know it, when you see it happen in the episode, your brain will pop.
I would rather not die watching this episode, so please just tell me.
So at some moment, they didn't say who said it. At some moment, one of the Avengers says the line, Avengers, assemble. And the Gundams form a super Gundam.
No! Sorry, I put two and two together halfway through that sentence. Wait.
They make a Megazord essentially. I guess I'll tell you this because they're probably going to show that in the trailer
I
whenever
gotta.
the trailer drops.
I don't feel so good.
I'm glad you
I'm
didn't see this
gonna.
firsthand. You actually might not have survived it.
I don't think I would have. You would have gotten a text from my mother letting you know when the funeral was. Like, oh gosh.
Now that
Oh.
I got you up there,
Because here's the thing.
maybe
I
go
pulled
ahead, go
up the
ahead.
pictures while you were talking about this. I put in "What If Season 3" on Google Images, and like the first images were of them and the Gundams. And now I can just I oh okay.
Yeah. Now that I
I'm
got
not
you
even
excited,
I'm not gonna be able
because
to
I
talk
know
about
that
anything for
you
a while.
really like What If.
I love What If so much.
They did also announce that season 3 will be the final season.
How dare they?
And it kind of confuses me because I feel like this is a show. Now I know that they've been telling a bit of a story through the 3 seasons. You know, it all kind of leads up to one moment. Then one leads up to the next moment, and they'll probably do the same thing on this one too. Uh, so I kind of see where like they may be looking at it as a trilogy of that story itself. But this is
I
honestly a show
can
that could go on forever.
it could. Honestly, I think I will be more appreciative of hang on, my breathing is not normal. Hang on, I'm so sorry. Um
I broke Lane.
oh my gosh. Dude, talk for a second while I get my breathing back. I'm so sorry.
Okay. They did announce other characters would be appearing in episodes of What If this season. I know that we saw the footage from was it Red Guardian and Bucky in the car.
Uh-huh.
They said there'll be Moon Knight. Moon Knight will make appearances. Shang-Chi will make appearances. So I'm very excited. I do hate that it's going to come to an end, but I guess they have a story they want to tell with it.
I wanna give you a reminder real quick about something in real life. I take a blood pressure medication
Oh yeah, I forgot.
that I think has just stopped working.
The last time we talked, this happened. Oh, it was during the D23 panel.
It was. It was during the D23 panel when my blood pressure medication stopped working. Because I can feel my blood pressure go up and down, back up again. I know that's not how this works. I'm fully aware for those listening and wanting to make fun of me. I don't care. My entire chest is beating right now. When you can feel the heartbeat in the back of your neck, something's wrong.
Yeah, that would probably.
Okay, now I caught like a quarter of what you said. I'm gonna be completely honest. I know you said Moon Knight's gonna be in it. That's gonna be something,
Moon
especially
Knight.
with
Yeah,
this Gundam-esque episode.
they did say Moon Knight was in that episode because
So
it's the new
yeah.
Avengers
Oh,
or a new group of Avengers
whoa!
that have the Gundam suits.
Sorry, you made me connect 3 more thoughts. My bad. And I will talk about that when we get to that in a little bit. Um, my face is hot. Jeez, I have a headache now. What was I gonna
The
say?
entire world has watched me break Lane,
Like
and you got more excited with everything I said.
you did, I did, and it just got worse and worse. Because the thing is, and I'm gonna tell you this, I'm super excited about this being the 3rd season. Not as excited about it being the final season. However, me saying I'm not excited about this being the final season, part of me is also excited that it's the final season. Because that means that I can just binge the 3 seasons on repeat
That's true. That is true.
for the rest of my life.
That is true.
Or until Disney kicks them off of Disney Plus. Which I
I
think
don't think
between
that's
the
happening.
two, well, never mind. I won't go there. Because they've kicked off stuff recently that I was very surprised about.
Yeah, but this is one of like I don't think they'll lose one of their main big like Marvel shows.
We'll see. I just like I think I mentioned a few episodes ago or last episode that quite literally my dog, her name is Peggy Riker. She's named after a Star Trek character, and Captain Carter. Like, I love this What If show. And it's awesome. My chest is tingly right now. I can finally feel my blood going through my chest again.
So
Anyway.
that was everything that was talked about in this panel. So let's talk about. I'm going to talk about some smaller things to let you catch yourself real quick.
I'm so
That was
sorry.
talked about.
I did
No,
not
no,
mean to
you're
have that much of a reaction to that. I did warn everybody though that there was
well.
a high probability that I was gonna react in some way, shape, or form.
Well, even then, like I wrote down my notes here. I wasn't going to talk about the Avengers Assemble part, and it had the moment like I feel like the moment is leading me up to saying it, and you all heard me have that moment of I shouldn't say this,
Yeah, and I
but I did it
coaxed you
anyway
into it
because they're honestly
because
that part's probably going to be used in the trailer. If they're already
it's.
showing it now, they're going to show it.
I'm
They're
gonna
going to show it
tell
then.
you now. There's a probability here that I'm gonna like if this trailer gets out. If I'm at work, I need you to immediately send it to me. I will literally stop what I'm doing at work and probably watch the trailer, which is not good, but we'll see what kind of day I'm having. If I can't do it right then and there, I'll wait until everybody leaves my area and then do it.
Mhm.
But anyway, okay.
So yeah, so
I think I'm breathing normal now.
while you're catching yourself, we'll go into what was talked about in the main Disney Entertainment panel. Some of the smaller things,
A lot.
real quick. The Moana 2 trailer, like the official trailer dropped, and I thought it looked really good.
Can I tell you what my note is? I like for a couple of these next things, I just have like one or two notes.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what my note was for Moana 2?
What's that?
Yay, another curse. That's all I put.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, that but
what?
look, I'm a huge fan of the first Moana. Like, it's one of
It's
my
so
favorite,
good.
more recent Disney movies. I will watch it like once or twice a month, or yeah, I'll put it on for background noise, and that doesn't happen. I'm locked in, and I will be crying at the end when she's going to return the heart to Te Fiti. I'm sobbing every
And
time.
you're gonna hate me.
Oh,
I think I've seen it twice.
oh, that's okay as long as you've seen it.
I saw it in theaters with a buddy of mine who is part. He found out later he's part Samoan,
Oh,
but he's huge. So we all kind of knew. It's like one of these things. I think he took like an ancestry or 23andMe or something like that, and it came back like I don't remember how large. It was like a decent percentage, Polynesian or something to that degree. And I just looked at him and was like, "You had doubts?" Or it was like either that or yeah, that makes sense. But Moana is his favorite like Disney movie of recent years or of all time. I don't really remember. It's been a little bit since I've talked to him. I need to reach it back out. But
it's a beautiful movie, man.
it is so good.
It
And
like
now
there's
I need to go watch it. I might do that tonight,
I
laying down in bed.
I probably will too. uh I liked it, but I like the trailer a lot. I know I was a little hesitant knowing that it is a series that was put together to make a movie, and I almost kind of see that watching the trailer. You can see where there was probably episodes for certain things.
See, it's
Uh,
funny you say that because I didn't have a clue.
well, I mean, knowing like they probably had an episode where they fought the Kakamora, and then
Well,
they'll
I mean, like
probably end.
I
And
didn't have a clue
oh,
that it
you
was
didn't
supposed
know
to be
that?
serious. No,
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
no.
know.
They announced
So not knowing, I
They announced the movie earlier or late last year when they announced a couple more movies we'll talk about later. And they said we're making Moana 2. It's coming out this year. And people were like, huh? And then they said it was the Moana. And they announced Disney Plus Moana series put together to the movie. And I was very hesitant. But maybe they were looking at it and they were like, you know what? We don't have enough. Like, there's a lot of filler here to make, the usual Disney mandated 6
Mhm.
episodes. So let's just take out the filler and make a movie. And that animation in the trailer looks incredible for a Disney Plus series for one.
it
If they
does.
just did
I'm
smash
so
it
excited.
together, but I'm excited for that.
Also,
Uh,
can't wait. I want to see them fight the Kakamora again. Those are
dude,
like
yeah,
my favorite not quite
yeah,
villains. Because
yeah,
in my mind, there you've got villains, and you got not quite villains, you got anti-heroes. They're my favorite not quite villains.
yeah. That's a good way to
Like
put it.
it's almost like I forget the guy's names, but the henchmen for Cruella de Vil
Oh
are
yeah,
they're
Jasper and
henchmen.
Horace,
They're bad guys, yeah,
but not
but they're
quite.
just not quite villains.
Yeah.
Because if you like, I feel like is some iterations I've seen of them, they've got their morals that they're just not quite willing to go over,
Hmm.
but they're willing to go further than most people.
Yeah.
So for like a quick buck. So I feel
Hmm.
like henchmen a lot of times fall into that not quite villain. Anybody that fights Batman is either villain or not quite villain.
Yeah.
So it's that same sort of mentality in my mind. But anyway, continue. So sorry.
So one of the big surprises we got is to kind of start it off, but nobody really knows what this is right after the Moana 2 stuff happened, Dwayne Johnson just stayed on stage and they announced a Disney movie for Monster Jam, like the monster trucks. And nobody knows what this is, but The Rock is apparently involved because of course he is.
Did you see some of the like pictures from apparently from set
Of Monster Jam?
of the movie? Yeah,
I didn't know they were filming yet.
apparently so. I saw images. Can I say
Was
them?
it just images from random monster truck rallies?
No, it was from the movie.
How did this happen? How did they get this far before announcing it and nobody knew it existed?
Because sometimes people, I think, and I hate to say this, Dwayne the Rock Johnson's reached a point in his career where people either really, really care or they don't.
I'm like right in the middle.
But that's the thing is, there's so few people that are right in the middle. It's people that pay really close attention to his career, or people that
Or over
don't
him.
really pay attention to his career until he pops up.
Yeah, and then there's the
And
people that are just over him.
yeah, and I feel like I'm actually between I'm between the last two, between being completely over him and everything he does, and just only really paying attention when he pops up. So I feel
I'll,
like that's how this one flew under the radar. Is that there's just not enough people nowadays that care, like super much about his career.
yeah. Plus, it also
Um,
could have been like, oh, they're just somebody's filming a monster truck rally.
well, no, because the pictures that I've seen, you can pretty much tell he's in the movie.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah.
Can I tell you, or do you want me to not?
I mean, we can go ahead. I wasn't expecting to say any more about this, but if we have more information, go for it. You're going to tell me stuff I don't know.
Well, this is a first. Um,
No, it's not the first, but not
well,
expected for this episode.
of today. But apparently, I've seen, and I'm not even 100% sure that this is legit stuff. So keep that in mind. Like this, I don't remember where I saw it. I swear I saw it on Twitter. And I don't think AI is that fast, or like people are that fast. Well, I mean, I've seen AI be that fast. But what I mean by this is that I saw the announcement, and within 3 seconds, I saw pictures. So keep that in mind. I
Mhm.
saw 3 different monster trucks that said The Rock on the side. 2 were in action. 1 was in
Okay.
front of a green screen. And
Oh,
Dwayne The Rock
that's
Johnson was standing in front of the one in front of the green screen.
okay.
Now, again, I don't remember where I saw it. I swear I saw it on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. Elon's going to be
Mhm.
mad at me now.
That's fine.
Um, pretty sure he doesn't listen, so it's probably okay.
Oh, I guarantee you,
Um,
he's not. I guarantee you.
but I swear that I saw these pictures. Um, and it was just kind of this weird moment, and because initially I was like, okay, maybe he'll play like a monster truck driver that I'm sorry, I opened X to look for it and immediately bumped into a thread of Yelena from Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, it's pictures from the I think that's the Comic-Con footage because they didn't show footage at D23.
Holy frick!
What
Okay,
what
I'm
are
so
short
sorry.
hair?
Nope, that's not the picture. I saw a picture where
Oh,
she
you
had
saw that
short
one.
hair.
You saw that one.
The gunfire.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one I just found.
I don't know
And
why I didn't think that's the one you'd be talking about.
because like favorite characters. Um, but I completely forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, Monster Jam. So I swear that I saw pictures of him in front of. Oh, yep, here. I am gonna send you one right now. So the picture I just sent you.
Okay, that is an actual monster truck. That's Max D.
Mm-hmm.
That's Maximum Destruction.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is the picture I actually saw.
Oh, I guess
So
they showed it at the panel. Yeah.
yeah, I completely forgot because you see the truck on the left says The Rock. The one in the middle is him in front of an actual truck,
Yeah. And then there's the one
and
here
then
that's definitely.
says The
Oh,
Rock.
wait a minute. World Wrestling Federation, know your role, The Rock, the the Brahma. Hold up, wait a
Wait,
minute.
is this?
Is that a real truck? Was that, or I should say,
I
was because
don't know.
World Wrestling Federation was a while ago. They dropped that F a long time ago. Oh, let me see. The Rock Monster Truck.
Wow, I love how this is diverted
I did not
so
expect to say
heavily.
any more than this that The Rock is making a Monster Jam movie that nobody knew about.
Well, I just remember seeing those pictures and going like, these are cool, but I guess in my mind, I'm like, who asked for this movie? First off,
Monster Jam probably came to them, honestly.
but in that same breath, who? I guess in my mind, like, who thought? Because monster truck rallies are cool in certain areas.
Well, they're actually for a while they were really big.
See, I don't
Like
remember any of that. Like,
we're
that's the thing
selling
is,
out stadiums. I
I
would
never went
watch
to
like
one.
once a week, and I've been to several Monster Jam events in my
Maybe I should
time.
just go to a monster truck rally and just see
Yes, yes,
me right now with my double ear infection that I've had for 3 months.
they come to Orlando every year, and they go to Camping World Stadium, and it's like a huge crowd.
I need to go. That and the French Fry Festival. That's what I need to do.
Yes, that has to happen.
For those that don't know, I have an obsession with French fries as well. Um, because of course I do. At one point, I called myself a French fry sommelier. Anyway,
Yeah. The next thing I know this
sorry for the
excited me.
sidetrack.
I know this excited me. I don't know how excited you are for this. They did officially give the name for the next Avatar movie that comes out next December. And it's
Oh,
Avatar: Fire and Ash.
okay, yes.
And they showed some concept art, which looks really cool.
Was it you? I was you that I was texting about that, right?
It was, I think so. Yeah,
We've texted so much about all this stuff in the last few days that my brain is not registering who I've messaged about what.
it's the same way. All my friends are into the same stuff, so it's like I kind of forget who I've talked to about certain things.
But that concept art for, oh my gosh, I'm scrolling so much. The concept art for it is insane. I appreciate that because they're bringing. Wait, I'm talking about something completely different. I didn't scroll back far enough. That's what it was. Because we have another announcement to talk about that's also about about Avatar.
We do.
but I just didn't scroll enough. I started looking at the wrong thing. Oh my gosh, my finger's tired. Here we go. Come on. Sorry, guys. I know y'all are tired of me talking at this point, but okay, here we go. So, one of my favorite things about because I see two pictures currently of fire and ash.
Yes, there should be a picture of like a flying ship, and then a picture of one of the new Navi tribes.
Well, the two pictures that I have are of what looks like Jake Sully or the other characters riding. Can't remember the creature.
The Banshees.
The Banshee next to the flying ships.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
other one I have is the flying ship. I think I
Okay.
got too excited. I've seen the other ones of like the other tribe and how they've got this really cool headdress
Did you see
looking
that
thing.
a lot of people were believing is the leader of that tribe, but she's like draped in?
I did not.
It looks to be, I don't remember the official lingo of this. I'm sorry to all my Pandorans out there. It looks to be like the the ponytails that they Navi have.
Oh, I see it now.
It seems to be like draped in like several of
This is a
those.
war tribe.
It looks like it.
Oh, that's gonna be an
And
interesting.
James Cameron did say this is a tribe of fire. And
That
fire means so much. He was like, went on this little thing about fire means so much stuff because fire can mean aggression and hatred, but also can bring along new life and something like that. If I'm remembering that correctly, I'm very
oh,
excited
then
for it.
that
I
has
like the Avatar movies a lot. I like Way of Water probably better than the first one. Yeah, it might
I
be
have
recency
mixed
bias though.
feelings about both. I love both, but I think both have their issues.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
But I love I was able to pull up what you're talking about on Google Images. In that same image where she's got all what looks to be all those ponytails, there's a thing on the left side of the screen that looks like a painted Navi with
Mhm.
like a full like head thing over their head. Oh, it's creepy looking. I love it. I don't do Halloween, but I like this. Hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm
so
so excited.
these three things are what they kind of started the show with, which made me think it was kind of a random three things. I guess it's a good way to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of let Pixar have their reign for a minute, and Pixar released announced of things that were very, I guess, hit or miss. They talked about the new movie Elios, which comes out next year. Um,
As someone that loves space, I'm actually kind of excited about that.
I am too. I just need to see a little bit more before I can get, I guess, invested. But I did think it was really funny that the teaser trailer where they all thought that their greeting was the recording he did. I'm talking about.
No, actually, I don't think I saw that.
Oh, you didn't see the teaser trailer for it that came out because
I
it
did
got
not.
pushed.
I'll have to watch
The
it.
the release date got pushed because of the strikes, I believe.
If I
So it
did
comes
it,
out
it's been like
next year
2 years.
now.
Like it like if I saw it, it's been so long ago I don't remember.
It's
A
been a
lot of
minute
my
since
life
it's
has
come out.
changed since it came out. Like since the
Well,
teaser came out.
when we're done recording,
Oh,
before you start watching Moana, you should check out the
man,
Elios teaser trailer. uh,
gosh.
I know the show that I think I remember you texting, if it was you, that you were pretty excited about the Inside Out spinoff for Dream Productions.
Yeah, I'm actually surprisingly excited about that. Now, I do remember texting you saying like I have a night like I already feel like I know where some of this is gonna go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, there's definitely gonna be at least probably only one, but at least one nightmare episode
Mm-hmm.
that they're gonna have to figure out how to do because you can't do the stereotypical one without it being weird. Showing up for a test in your underwear.
Yeah,
Like that's one they can't really put on television.
yeah.
So they're gonna have to
And
come up
they
with some other stuff.
already did the clown in the movie
Yeah, so
Jangles.
it's I feel like we're gonna get a nightmare episode where maybe Jangles comes back, because this does take place between Inside Out
between
1 and Inside Out 2.
that is true. That is true.
So we may very much, and I still haven't seen Inside Out 2. I need to, but I'm gonna wait till it hits Disney Plus.
I think I remember seeing a Disney Plus release date, or maybe
I will be checking that out.
maybe it's not an
I think I
Inside.
did too.
Maybe it wasn't Disney Plus. Maybe it was the digital like rentals.
Oh, that might be what it is. But I'm just like, I don't know, like something about that I'm so excited about, because one thing I said was I feel like the comparison is there. It's gonna hit a lot like those Zootopia shorts,
Yeah, yeah.
where I feel like it's gonna be that same kind of flow where each episode will be something separate, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to watch.
Hmm.
Which I love that style.
I do
If
too.
they're not like super long episodes and stuff like that. Because if you don't want to watch the nightmare episode, if you've got like a small child that might have nightmares themselves, or if you just don't do Halloween, he said, smiling, um, then I feel like being able to go in and watch her maybe win an Oscar or win the hockey championship of the world or something like that. I feel like that's gonna be a thing.
So,
Unless
a little side note, I did look it up. Inside Out 2 will be available to buy digitally on August 20th. Physical release is September 10th. No word on a Disney Plus release date yet.
it'll probably be right after. They'll give it like a week and a half of
Hmm.
physical release, and then we'll get Disney Plus.
I mean,
I
it's already
feel like
crossed $1.6 billion in the box office. They're gonna let that. They're
is
gonna
it
let
still
every.
in box office?
Oh yeah, it's still like it's made more money than movies that'll come out after it came out.
Because I don't think it's in our local theater anymore. But I
Yeah, I
might
think the bigger
check.
theaters are still playing it. Uh, but yeah, then the newer announcements come out because we kind of heard rumbles of Dream Productions a couple times through some things. Uh, this one I know that we all had mixed feelings about. Uh, I knew this was happening because I remember the announcement last year. You did not know this was happening. That they were doing Toy Story 5.
Oh golly.
Yeah, I think that was all
Yeah,
of our reactions. Especially when you get to the premise of the movie, it's an interesting concept, but it's how are you going to
I just
tackle that?
don't feel like it's gonna go. I feel like they're gonna be able to tackle it for the new generation pretty well. But anybody that's grown up with Toy Story, this is I don't feel
Yeah, and well,
I
you should
didn't
probably
feel
tell
Toy
everybody
Story 4.
if you haven't heard what the premise of this movie is. It seems to be that the toys are dealing with the existential crisis of their child finding every kid's addiction, electronics.
They are officially having to deal with iPad kids.
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
oh,
And
I don't know if you brought this. I know we didn't talk about this. I talked about it with somebody, with my uncle. My uncle is a big hater of Toy Story 4. um, my uncle said the concept art to me. He's like, so here's it shows a kid like under the blanket with the iPad. Every kid is trying to hide from their mom that they're playing on their iPad.
yeah,
But at the base, it has all the toys looking scared. Did you see who's in that crew?
I did not.
Woody.
Okay.
Have you seen Toy Story 4?
I have not. No, I was just saying I've never seen it.
Oh, well, now that I said it like that,
Spoilers.
spoilers. It's been out for it came out a while ago.
I feel like we're past the point of spoilers for that. It's
So
fine.
at the end of
I
Toy Story 4, Woody leaves the toys and goes off on his own.
okay.
And nobody was happy about it. They're like, Woody's the most loyal person ever. He wouldn't have left. But Woody and he leaves to go with Bo Peep because Bonnie didn't play with Woody anymore. So
I have a
Buzz and the
very
gang go back with Bonnie. Woody leaves.
I have an idea, and I'm gonna be a hated person for saying this.
Well, my thing was, and when my uncle sent me that, and it was like, are they just gonna Cars 2 this and just pretend Toy Story 4 never happened?
Well, my thought is, what happens when a kid loses a toy that they didn't think they wanted anymore, but now that it's gone, they feel terrible. Mom and dad go out to Walmart
And buy a new
and they
Woody?
buy a new toy.
Well, how are they gonna find a new Woody? He's a 1950s toy.
I think Woody goes through a resurgence because remember Buzz Lightyear went through a resurgence.
He did. I guess he did. Yeah.
I think we're gonna get a quote resurgence of Woody, where new toys that look like Woody come out. They're not exact copies. So I don't think that this is going to be the Woody that we know and love. I think this is going to be a copy of Woody.
I feel like that would be the worst way to do this. If people didn't like that Woody
Well,
left, this is gonna be a way to make it even worse for them.
1,000%. But that's my point, is Woody left. Like, did he and Bo Peep finally decide to go back? Like, where have they been all this time? Now, is Buzz Lightyear in that picture?
Yeah, it's the whole crew.
Okay. So, one funny thing about that, though. Oh, it is the whole crew? Everybody?
Yeah, I remember if I'm
Well, then never
remember
mind.
correctly, it's everybody.
Because I do remember that while one of the quote villains is the electronics, the other villain of this story is an army of Buzz Lightyear toys.
Stuck in demo mode.
Really?
I remember it was they're stuck in their demo mode that like Buzz is in Toy Story 3.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought that the electronics hacked into the Buzz Lightyears.
It's possible they could have done that to put him in demo mode.
That's what I'm wondering, and then use them as the army.
What if it's
So,
the steering wheel from Wall-E?
oh my gosh, I was taking a sip of tea when you said that. I almost choked. uh, golly, it'd be funny as heck.
Hey, there's the Toy Story. There's the Pixar theory.
Now I gotta sneeze. Dang it. You got the tea going down and up the wrong pipes, man.
But yeah, I
Anyway,
guess we'll officially find out in 2026 because that's when that movie releases. That 2 years.
you'll find out in 2026.
Okay,
Let
yes,
me say that.
okay.
Because I will probably never watch it.
I mean, if you haven't seen Toy Story 4 at this point, you probably don't have much inkling to watch Toy Story 5.
I really
Especially
don't.
after what I
Oh my
just
God.
told you.
It's I saw Toy Story 3 and it broke my heart, and I was like, I can't deal with Toy Story anymore. I love Toy Story. I will always love Toy Story. Buzz Lightyear has been and will always be one of my favorite Disney characters. Because again, space obsession. Um So finding out all the negativity that took place behind Toy Story 4, I had already decided, like, I don't think I'm gonna see this.
Yeah.
And then
My
now
my
with that going on, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, uh
my personal feelings on Toy Story 4 is it's not a bad movie, but it is a bad Toy Story movie.
oh gosh. Okay. Well, thank you for the heads
but
up.
but maybe if you're not going to see Toy Story 5 in 2026, you'll see the other Pixar movie releasing that year that they announced with everybody, and everybody went, "Huh?" when they announced it, and that was Hoppers.
We'll see.
the
That was another
I
one that I was like one of the ones going, huh?
well, at first I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then they said the premise, and I'm like, "Excuse me."
It's
And then later, the next day, they at I guess the Pixar booth, they did explain what the title means a little more. But first, let's talk about the premise. It's about a girl. I guess she works for a group of scientists who can hop into the minds of animals, and she
no.
get.
What I saw was that it was a robotic beaver.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The science group has figured out how to hop in the mind of animals. She gets stuck in a robotic beaver.
Oh, I did not remember that part. My apologies.
No, you're good because that was two different things. They talked about because the main premise it just said a girl is stuck in a robot beaver, the mind of a robot beaver, and then learns about beavers. And I'm like, excuse me. So I guess the next day they're like, we need to talk about it a little more. And they said that's why the movie's called Hoppers is because it's the group of scientists have figured out how to hop into the minds of animals. I guess through robotic animals that they can learn more about them. So they're hoppers.
I'm so confused.
It is a very confusing concept. It's just confusing enough that I'm pretty interested, honestly. But at the same time, Pixar tends to usually do very good when they get to make an original story. Usually. So I'm excited for
Yeah.
that. Uh, but then they immediately followed that up with some very exciting news that I know I jumped off the couch for, and that was they're officially making an Incredibles 3. I love the first two Incredibles movies, but it also made me excited to know that Brad Bird is coming back to direct this movie, and he said way back when he did the first one that said he would never do sequels for The Incredibles unless the scripts were perfect.
Can't wait. I
And so
literally
excited.
can't wait.
I love The Incredibles movie so much, man.
It's gonna.
The
I will
Incredibles were
say,
essentially my introduction to superheroes.
yeah. Okay.
Like I watched
I
a little bit of like the X-Men series when I was a kid, on TV. Uh my first introduction to superheroes was honestly probably Darkwing Duck and the Rescue Rangers.
oh
But like as for my obsession, I don't want to say obsession. My obsession with superheroes essentially started with The Incredibles in 2004, I think that was.
oh my gosh. Yeah. It's was it 2000?
It's like
I don't know.
2003, 4 or 5, somewhere in that range.
But I feel like so the second one gets a lot of hate. But genuinely I loved the second one.
I did too.
But they felt like they were two completely different things. And that's why I loved them so much. Is that you can watch one, or if you don't feel like watching one, you watch the other. You get a completely different feel to it. So many movies, when you get a sequel, it's basically a knockoff of the first one. They always say the first is always better. But I feel like that's one of those stories where it's two completely different things. And now, knowing that we're getting the third one, it's going to be a third completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to buy like 14 of like Incredibles t-shirts and wear them for like the 2 weeks leading up.
There you go. There you
It's gonna
go.
be great.
There you go.
I want to find one though. I think my favorite. I'm gonna bring this up. It's completely unrelated to everything. About it to a degree. But my favorite Incredibles costume from either one of the movies though is still the original Mr. Incredible blue uniform.
Oh yeah, the blue and black.
Like I have searched for a t-shirt with that on it for so long it's not even funny. Like I've made video game characters have that suit just because. Sorry.
Oh, you're
I
good.
feel
You're
I feel very strongly about the suit.
good.
Did okay. I literally got a ding on Discord and I thought you messaged me something.
No,
I
that
was
was
like,
not me.
"Don't you?" I was like, I had a moment of, "Don't tell me," because you've done this to me before. What I've said about something I wanted to see so bad, and I get a ding or something like that. I'm like, "Wait, it's a thing?"
I've already broke your brain once today. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm just getting you back, buddy. We
Barely,
talked
but
about
yes.
Toy Story 5 and it immediately got you back.
Like we're good. I'm back. I feel good now. Well, not great because we talked about Toy Story 5, but but
But
yes. So
that was all we got from Pixar, really.
no.
No,
What
we
about
did that. Wait. I
one
forgot
more?
about the
One more.
baseball show.
No, then two more.
Forgot about the baseball show. Loser, was it lose or win? How did this fit?
Win
Miss
or
my notes.
lose.
Win or lose? Yes, they actually released a trailer to everybody yet, which I have not watched yet.
I texted you the other thing.
That's not Pixar.
That's not Pixar. I'm just
No,
an idiot. That's all.
that's on the
Okay.
that's actually the next thing I want to talk about.
Because I want to mention some of the things in those in screenshots. Anyway, continue. Go on. So
Yeah, because
sorry.
those Win or Lose, I think was the only other thing they talked about for Pixar.
Mhm.
And I haven't watched the trailer. I think you said you watched the trailer.
I did. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Because like I said, I haven't seen the trailer yet. So
I love baseball. And this has baseball in it.
I did know that. I did know that.
I mean, I don't really know. Like, I've been so like I get so excited about, especially Pixar recently, which I have to be so cautious because I've been burned by Pixar in the last few years. I got really excited. I don't remember what it was. I've literally pushed it out of my mind at this point.
Was that
But I got
Lightyear?
no. I don't know. I think it was before Lightyear.
Oh wow, good
There
dinosaur.
was something. No, I truly enjoyed that movie.
I actually
I
have
was
not
actually
seen.
in college when that movie came out, and I was actually going to the University of New Orleans. I'll say it for film school. And one of the guys that worked on that movie came and talked to my class.
That's
And it
cool.
was really cool. We actually also had, what's his name? Goodness gracious. We had it was the year that we had, I can't spell. Um, where did he go? One of the producers from, I think it was a producer. I am not good at this. I'm sorry. John Landau.
Oh yeah, John Landau. Yeah, he's the producer on
Yeah.
the Avatar movies, and I think everything
He
with
came and did
James
the
Cameron.
speech at my graduation
That's
at the
awesome. He just
University of New Orleans.
recently passed away.
He did, unfortunately. Um, but he also did Alita: Battle Angel.
He did. I think he did a
Ah!
lot. I think he produced a lot of things that James Cameron did,
Oh yeah,
like
and it's just cool.
Titanic.
But anyway, so sorry, I've diverted the conversation. But what was it? Oh, so the Good Dinosaur wasn't. I don't remember what it was. I will have to literally like later, once we've stopped recording, I'll have to go in and find a list of Pixar movies and just to figure out which one it was. But it wasn't
Okay.
just one thing. It was like 2 or 3 projects that I was overly excited about, ready to go. And then it got to me and I was just like, meh. Because if it had been
Gotcha.
one project, I think I would have gotten over it. But I think it was like 2 or 3 projects, like
They did.
back to back to back. And I
They
was
did
just
have
like,
a bit of a slump for a minute there.
and so that's why, like, with Pixar specifically, I'm like, I will tell you when it comes out if I like it or I don't.
Gotcha.
But it's got baseball, so I'm definitely gonna watch it. I love baseball and I love hockey. So those are like my. I've only recently started really getting into hockey, but I've kind of gone overboard. Literally
Hmm.
bought a Mighty Ducks jersey and a Mighty Ducks hat. And I mean when I say Mighty Ducks, I'm not talking about the movie Mighty Ducks. I'm talking about like the 1993 to 2004 Mighty Ducks of Anaheim jersey and hat.
Yeah.
Specifically from the, ironically, Disney owned team before they got sold. And then this year they've brought back the OG logo, but made it modern with the modern color scheme. And I am pumped. Okay, back to movies and off of hockey.
Yes.
Uh,
Because
sorry, I could talk about
that
this
was
for a while.
officially the last thing they really talked about Pixar. They jumped into animation, which I didn't see much come through there. Of two big topics. They kind of talked a little bit more about, or they showed concept art in a release year for Frozen 3, which I know you said you weren't much into. I'm a little bit more
My
excited.
note, my note literally just says, "Ugh."
It was that, yeah, and I was like, not for me. I like those movies. It did get overplayed a lot. I'll give you
When
that, but
I'll tell you this, when Frozen came out, I think we both were working because we both lived in Orlando at the time.
Hmm.
and just being in such close proximity to Disney and us going as guests all the time, you just heard it so much
Yeah,
that we would say, please let it go. And that's not a pun.
yeah.
Please.
They definitely that first movie. It was big, but
It was Frozen Summer Fun, fall, spring,
yeah,
fall, winter, spring, summer again.
yeah.
And I was just like, please, I'm done. No, please.
Uh,
But
but we don't have to worry about that till 2027. So, but they also announced that next year, next November, like that may be Thanksgiving week. That's usually when they release their animated movies. Is that the week before Thanksgiving? They have Zootopia 2. Well, they announced it before, but they gave more information about Zootopia 2. And they made the big announcement, which really made the crowd excited. That Ki Han Kwan, it will be playing a snake named Gary in this movie.
I cannot describe to you how excited I am. I'm so glad that he has had a resurgence in his career. Granted, I don't think he ever went away, but he became like a
Oh,
stunt coordinator
he
for
did
a
kind of went
long
more
time.
behind the camera.
But I'm so glad that he was welcomed back in. He, like Brendan Fraser, were like immediately welcomed back into the limelight. People were just like, "Yes, come, please, rejoin us." Um, and I'm so excited that he's getting roles left and right, especially at Disney.
Yeah,
I'm
Disney's
sorry,
really embraced him.
I'll get off my soapbox now, but I'm so excited. And then just everything going on. I'm sorry, but I want to ask this.
Hmm.
You sent me a picture of like one of the like movie posters that was shown because when they announced it or when they talked about it, they had those like how like in the first one they had I forget the guy's name, Weaselton,
Yeah,
Duke Weaselton,
selling the bootlegs.
selling the bootlegs, but the bootlegs were like actual movies,
Zootopiafied.
Zootopiafied, and I loved it. And I'm trying to find one because you sent me some, and I got all excited about it. And I said something about one of them, and you like did not respond.
Well, there was one that the one was dead mule and Wolverine, and Wolverine's an actual Wolverine.
Yeah,
But there's the
but
Pandalorian.
yeah, that one is the one that I was like, Pandalorian,
The
and you didn't
Pandalorian.
say like. I think they made another announcement right after that, and so I don't know, like it just flew right by, and I was like, oh,
I might not even got the message. I don't know. There was so much going on at that time because everybody was texting me at the same time. Because like
oh,
I
I
said,
believe it.
everybody I know has the same. We're all the same fan group, so we're all trying to talk to me at the same time.
Can I tell you something though? And I know this is a little off topic, but not really for this particular case. I'm so sorry, but I gotta say this. I genuinely wish that they would make these into actual posters.
Yeah, or even
Like,
like if do like shorts on Disney Plus of these things.
like, I wouldn't even say that. Literally sell posters at Walt Disney World.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like when they open their new Zootopia thing, which we'll talk about in a minute for like a half a second. When they open like or sell them at, like in what is it, Hong Kong that has the
Or
Zootopia land.
I don't remember which part got it.
It's
So
either
they were
Tokyo or Hong Kong. Not Tokyo. Shanghai.
Shanghai
Might have been Shanghai. But sell the posters there and sell them on DisneyStore.com. Do you know how many people would buy a Pandalorian poster?
just because of just for the Pandalorian of it
Just
all.
for the Pandalorian
The
and the
pandemonium.
pandemonium it would cause. Jeez, we need
I
to
beat
not.
you.
Okay,
I
you
beat you.
did. We, yeah. This is the thing.
I'm
This
so
is how you
proud.
can tell we're friends. When you can beat me to a dad joke, you know it's something special.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nothing will beat the
or
catch
to a
up though.
wheelchair
But
joke. What?
Nothing would ever beat the ketchup fire truck. But we're not going to get on
No,
that tangent right now. That's for another
no,
episode.
that's I don't know if everyone actually. For those that are curious, something happened with a ketchup bottle.
And a fire
He
truck.
was in a fire truck.
But we'll talk.
And
We'll talk about that later.
that's a whole nother story for a whole nother type
That's
of
gonna send
podcast.
us. That's
For like
gonna
a
send us
food
down
podcast.
a different place.
But
Let's
what? So
get this bad boy back on track.
okay, so I do want to mention. I kind of want to go back to Frozen for just a second.
Okay.
I know. I said but the Frozen musical,
Oh yeah, it's getting a pro shot.
it is, and I'm surprising. So I've in the last few years I've really gotten into musicals. So I've noticed though that Disney Plus has had they had Newsies first.
Yeah, Newsies was the first one.
But that was pro shot a while back. And I've started noticing like even like Netflix, they put Shrek the musical up for a while. People watched it. I had it on a loop for like a week straight. And then Hamilton came out. Still haven't seen it. I've gotten yelled at before because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, you lived in Orlando when Hamilton was big.
Yeah, so I got yelled at a lot about it. Not by anybody at work, but it was like, well, I mean, friends at work. Or around the water cooler. What do you mean? No, I'm just kidding. But I'm actually kind of excited about that. I don't like Frozen as much as everybody else. I can tolerate it to a degree, and I feel like that'll be a way that will help me tolerate it even more. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm hoping this means that they're gonna test the waters, see how popular this one is, and maybe pro shot other ones.
I think it's a good chance. A good
And
chance.
there are 3, but I don't know if one is still in production or not. There are 3, I think, that I want to see pro shot and on um like I no joke, I just want to see like I can't even talk. I'm so excited. There's like 3 of them that I want to see them up on the screen because
Mhm.
people like I have difficulty getting out to things like this.
Right.
I don't make enough money doing what I do now to go and do things like this, at least not yet. I'm just starting out. I would love to be able to go and see the North American tour for some of these. But the 3 that I want to see personally are Beauty and the Beast,
Yes. Yes.
which is having a resurgence tour, I think. The Disney Aladdin live on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But like anyway, and the Lion King.
Oh, the Lion King is so good.
Those are the 3 that I so desperately want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I would I don't think I would pay extra to watch it on TV,
Right.
but I would definitely like if I'm not planning at any point to cancel my Disney Plus, but even if I had, I would re-up it to watch those on repeat. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved musicals, so for me that's what I'm hoping for one day. So I'm actually kind of excited surprisingly about the Frozen musical.
I did at one point. I did text that to you, and I was kind of surprised at how excited you were, but it was the context of it.
Yeah. Well, it's I love musicals. And people are surprised about that. I don't know why, but I grew up my mom sang in church. My dad was always a youth minister, but my mom would sing in church and my uncle would sing in church. But they, growing up, going through high school and even college, they played instruments. I played an instrument like junior high through like junior college. I can still bang my way around a keyboard a little bit, not much. But music has always been a huge part of my family and my life. So musicals were just normal. One of my favorite
Mhm.
movies of all time is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it's that musical. I just love the stylization of turning words into the flow of the music, and that's why even though I say I'm a 32, like even though I'm a 32-year-old man, I'll still go watch Moana, Beauty and the Beast, Tangled because of the music element. Like
Mhm.
Princess and the Frog is one of my favorites because it's New Orleans, which reminds me of home because I'm from within like a couple hours of New Orleans originally. On the Mississippi side though. So it kind of reminded me of people that I knew growing up. And we would go to like the zoo there and stuff like that and the aquarium there. So I just, and even like me having gone to the University of New Orleans, I listened to jazz music just because I was there.
Mhm.
And we ate, it was catfish every Friday. And they had a big thing, and I learned to eat one of my favorite foods, crawfish there. So for me, Princess of the Frog is the ultimate thing because it's got music, which is my childhood, and then it's got New Orleans, which is my young adulthood. And it combines. Sorry, I'm going off on another tangent.
They used to
My
are.
bad. See, this is what happens when I talk to you. We go off on 17 million tangents, but that's just to say, musicals. I love musicals. So, the announcement they made just after that. Did you see that one?
Hercules?
No. Well, that one
I don't
not so
remember.
much because that's in London, but there's another one.
Oh, The Greatest Showman.
Yes, I almost fell out of my wheelchair when I read that. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest. I need that to go on tour, or I need that to be pro shot and put on Disney Plus.
that probably won't happen for a while. But
No, but they could sell copies of that, honestly, and it would sell out. Greatest Showman was the first movie that I saw in theaters twice within a weekend.
I think I saw it twice in theaters too.
No, it's the second movie I ever did that with. But I think I saw it 2 days in a row or something like that. Or no, 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 no. It was a couple weeks apart because I saw it. Then they announced they were doing a sing along version, and I went and saw it again. That's what it was. It's like the second movie I've seen in theaters twice. The other one was Revenge of the Sith. So way back in 2013. But how do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I'm excited. Like say, I remember watching it and being like, this could be a stage production really easily.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna translate really, really easily, really, really well. I will say that I saw or heard some of the singing that was done there, and I'm a little concerned is the wrong word, but just the vibe of some of the people that were singing there did match the vibes of the people in the movie. So I'm curious how this adaptation is gonna go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sorry. I get really excited talking about musicals if you can't
I'm
tell.
actually really glad you brought that up because I kind of forgot they did the whole thing about the Broadway section. Because first that
So
wasn't because when I was going through the thing, I was watching a video, getting the notes, and then like remember what happened, so I could write them down. That they didn't talk about that, so I'm glad you brought that up.
well then cool. I don't feel as bad for taking over conversation for a second. I get really excited about music. I'm sorry. I music can make or break a day. Music can make or break a movie. And I've seen movies with great sound. I've seen terrible movies with great soundtracks and I've loved them, and I've seen great movies with terrible soundtracks and hated them. So music can make or break a movie. So when you have a musical, I told you earlier with the Star Trek thing, my one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds was the musical episode
That's
because
right.
of course it was.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Trek, let's pivot a little bit to the other side of the that space fandom. Not that one specifically, but space fandom. Star Wars. Because they really didn't announce anything. They just kind of expanded on. We got a trailer for Skeleton Crew, which I thought looked really good.
It does. It looks so good. I have so many questions.
Yeah, I know they had the costumes at the Lucasfilm booth on the show floor for D23, and I'm pretty. They showed like one of the pirates. Like I think we've seen him before, but like it's not Hondo, but like the same kind of
Oh
uh,
yeah.
yeah, kind of
He looks like the guy from wait. Now that you say that, he does look he looks like the guy from The Mandalorian.
season 3, right?
Yeah.
That's what I
Same
thought.
species.
And like for a minute, I'm like, is that the guy?
That's scary. Oh.
Maybe they literally just
Oh.
did that pirate episode that because I thought the pirate stuff felt kind of random.
I have a
In
very
that,
odd question. When does this take place?
I don't know. I never said.
That's the thing is Skeleton Crew seems so out of place. I just can't I've seen some of the imagery and stuff and
We'll probably find out more as we get closer to it because it comes out this year.
you're right. Isn't it like
So
December?
me look that up real quick. Uh, Skeleton Crew release
Like November
date.
or December. Now, I do want to point out one thing that I texted you. It was like, Goonies meets Star Wars,
Yeah, that's what it is. And
and then I
then
surprised you with the next thing I said. I've never seen Goonies,
you did say that, and I actually did surprise me.
but the fact that I know enough to be able to say Goonies meets Star Wars, it seems I'm actually kind of surprised how excited I am for this.
It's yeah, and then they made the hint at the end that Jude Law is playing a potentially a Jedi.
Uh,
That kind of I didn't
I
see
want
that
to throw
coming.
that. I like the word potentially
He's a,
because
or I
I
don't say. Oh,
don't.
you mean not he's Jedi. The kid says Jedi because a kid in that
Hey,
world, when they think of somebody who can use the Force, they're gonna think of Jedi's, the legends of the
I
Jedi.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's a hiding Sith. I think
Yeah,
this takes place after episode 6 because they show X-wings. That much I know. If
December
I
3rd,
okay, December 3rd. I
two
think this takes.
episode premiere. December
Ooh,
3rd.
we may have to do like a special or something. No, I'm kidding. Maybe though. We're gonna have like 3 specials that month, so maybe not.
We
Because I
have to
already
do
want to do
your
the Christmas.
you have to do your Christmas special.
I gotta do my. I'm so sorry. You won't get me to shut up. You can't get me to shut up anyway. But that special is gonna be worse.
Yeah.
So I apologize for everybody's eardrums in advance.
Um.
So
My brain just like
goodness.
shut off.
Yeah, they did. I opened up to see something and I was surprised by a number that I saw.
Oh,
Um
yeah. But the
but
Lucasfilm also they talked more about Andor. I think that's out next year.
my favorite
And
droid returns.
yeah,
Sorry.
huh? What?
K2SO. K2SO. You
Oh yeah,
pointed out.
we're officially gonna meet him and somebody else you said you were very excited to see was announced to be in it,
Yeah.
and that's
Director Krennic.
Director Krennic. So we're
I
officially getting into that Rogue One time period now.
and I know that this season takes place over 4 years, I think.
Leading, yeah, and it's
So
supposed to lead right into Rogue One, I think.
mhm.
And that's a really
And
exciting
then
part. I love that first season, man. That first season of Andor is so good. It's
um
some of the best writing in a Star Wars show is in
I'm
Andor.
So good though.
And Andy
It was
Serkis,
season 1 was so good. His role was I loved him in that role. And
dude,
then I
I
felt
cried.
sick to my stomach. Yeah. Oh my
Can't,
gosh.
he can't swim.
I
He
can't think
can't
about it
swim.
now because I'm about to start crying now. Um,
So let's go back. Let's not make you cry. Let's go to our next thing. They said Mando and Grogu comes out in 2026. They showed
oh,
footage. We saw some
they
images.
did. Okay. So I have 2 notes here. One is one word, or it's a name, and then one is a quote that's been messed up, or changed. You tell me what you think, and I'll tell you what my 2 notes are.
Well, I'm very excited. Oh, I think I've said on the show before. I think it definitely said it during the Star Wars special. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars Rebels. So it's been fun to see Dave Filoni kind of bring Rebels into this what people call the Mandoverse.
Mm-hmm.
But the image I
So
saw
good.
was Mandalorian Din Djarin riding in the Razor Crest with Zeb. And or I'd say the Razor Crest, in a Razor Crest with Zeb. And I'm like, okay, this is what I needed.
This is not something I didn't know I needed, but I need.
It makes me feel better that his appearance in Mando season 3 was it Mando season 3, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a one-off.
It wasn't just a one-off Easter egg cameo. It was leading to something.
So happy. I'm so happy right now. I know that when this comes out, I'm gonna be at the theaters, probably in my pajamas,
Dude,
sitting there.
they're bringing Mandalorian to movies, man.
I forgot that. And I was gonna say I'm gonna be at home in my pajamas. No, I'm gonna be at the movie theaters in my pajamas. Like I don't care.
We haven't seen a Star Wars movie, and we'll not have seen a Star Wars movie in a theater since Rise of Skywalker.
I like how you took a big, deep breath right before you said that.
The last Star Wars movie I watched in theaters was Rise of Skywalker with you. I saw it twice in theaters. I watched it the
Yeah,
second time with you. I fell asleep for a little bit
you did.
because
And
we watched it in a dine-in screen, which they have the most comfortable seats. And I turned a little heater on, and it just
well,
put
I
me
bring
out.
my own, so.
But I was only out for a few minutes. But I remember halfway through because I thought I enjoyed the movie the first time I watched it. Second time I'm like, you know what? I don't think I did. I don't think I like this.
See, that was the thing too. Is even like at the end of it, I was like, that was okay, and then I would hear people talk about. It, I was like, that was not okay. Like I
Yeah,
just, and it's funny that you bring that up because remember that quote that I said I changed in my note here
yeah, yeah.
for Matt. I put somehow the Razor Crest returns. Like because I was like, that's gonna be really funny. Because I genuinely want them just to throw that line in there. Oh, somehow the Razor Crest has returned. No, build it from scratch. Like that kind of like play off with it. I
hmm
think that would be really not to that degree because Mando wouldn't say that, but I would love a character to say somehow that you've got the Razor Crest back, but I want the word somehow to be there in connection to that, just to almost make fun of Episode 9. I want
Right.
that more than anything because you know that like they know that we know that they know that we know that nobody likes it.
Now there are people that do, but
Well, okay, that nobody likes that line.
yes, that line is yeah.
It's everybody just kind of went okay. Now, granted, they do go on to explain how he returned, but it was still very much just like
I'm
that
still
was
so
one of the
worried.
dumbest lines in all of Star Wars.
I'm still so worried that they're going to use this Mandoverse that I love so much to make that make sense.
I don't, I don't want. Uh, technically, it's all canon.
They keep hinting at that's what it was. That
I
some
think
of the
the
things that
Moff
they're
Gideon.
trying to do was to bring back Palpatine, and I'm really hoping it doesn't. But I have faith in Dave Filoni that he can make me enjoy it.
Well, I feel like even like they really hinted at it on season 3. I think that in season 3 that Moff Gideon was a clone
I got
because I
that
think
feeling
he
too.
died at the because he doesn't have the mustache anymore.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, I'm a better version of myself. Hmm. Sorry. I think you
You're-
brought that up. I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
So I'm saying like at this point, like I completely agree with you on that note.
yeah.
Um,
I
and I'm
think
gonna
that
be
was every.
honest. This is the point that I think my fingers had a stroke because I don't have any notes after this. I think I just got so into looking at all the tweets and things that I stopped taking notes.
Well, because after this point, because you got really excited with Mando, and that's what they ended
I
the
did.
Lucasfilm thing with.
I did.
But then Marvel started
Then that explains why I stopped taking notes
because
because
in
at that point I
Marvel,
was just paying full attention.
because uh, the Marvel panel they didn't really announce anything, but they expanded on stuff that we had questions for. I know at Cap 4, I think that the only thing they did was show the same footage they showed at Comic Con.
But we actually got to see the Fantastic Four footage.
Well, did we?
You didn't?
Well, it was not supposed to leak, because I told you I try to avoid the
No, wait.
leaks.
Oh, I'm gonna shut up now.
Uh, but they did. I did see the
Sorry.
picture though that the cast of Fantastic Four is filming in London, so they couldn't be there. So they filmed a hello, and Joseph Quinn was in the suit.
So I'm so excited.
And let me tell you, I know that a lot of people were saying we don't believe the look. I think he looks like a 1960s Human Torch.
He does very much, and actually, it actually looks a lot like his original suit from the comics in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, and he's
But
blonde,
except for like I'm looking at it, like the white goes down the arms, which is a little different. But I'm glad they didn't go for an exact copy.
but it's got that 60s feel to it,
Oh, 1,000%.
and I like that a lot.
Even
And he's
like
actually
the
blonde.
set. Yeah, yeah. That's okay. I'm so excited. The more we talk
Uh,
about that one, I get more. I'm sorry. I'm eating peanuts now.
I'm very excited for that show, that movie. If they want to do a show, I'll take that too. But they talked about Ironheart again. The they showed a trailer for it there. It's supposed to come out next year. Um, people said the footage looked great, so I'm still holding excited for that. But then they kind of this is where they broke me. Is they talked about Daredevil Born Again,
Yeah.
and I've talked about I think several times in this show how much I love the Netflix Daredevil show, and I'm so glad that apparently during the strikes they had the conversation, or like right after the strikes or before the strikes, somewhere in there, they had the conversation. It's like we need to make the Netflix shows canon, so they brought the cast back for Foggy and Karen, and I think John Bernthal might have already been signed on, but he's officially back, and the guy that played Bullseye officially back. Uh, that is some footage I did see,
Okay.
and that
Cool.
made me lightheaded.
Yep. I.
Oh, and the big surprise that uh,
Yeah.
Kamala Khan, her dad is in this show.
I think that's a really cool way though, because it almost canonizes everything. Now, granted, we already know that it's canon,
Yes, yes.
but to me,
Well, seeing this
having
show
her,
specifically, because so far they haven't really said anything about Netflix stuff being canon.
the only time that they've shown anything be canon was when they had Charlie Cox come in for Spider-Man.
Yeah, when even then it wasn't confirmed that that was that Matt Murdock.
Mm-hmm. But
Like we
now we're
weren't.
getting everything. Oh, I'm so
It's
excited.
official that all that stuff happened in this universe. They're like it's official now, so it's a good, like you said, a cool way to bridge the Netflix series, which this show seems to be very the same feel of that to the
Mhm.
MCU. So I like that a lot. But also, my friend texted me, and I thought it was really funny that they're like, so this guy, uh, Mr. Khan, went from what is easily the most family friendly property in the MCU to the one show that's probably going to be the most not family friendly show in the MCU.
I'm so sorry. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Me and
for
my brother
grand.
actually we're gonna watch through the Netflix shows before the show starts because he has not seen them
Oh,
or not all of them. He started the first season of Daredevil, but we're gonna go through because I want to watch them again too to get ready for this because I'm so excited. Uh, and then they ended the Marvel panel with some Agatha stuff, which starts in September.
yeah, you have fun with that.
I figured the trailer they did show of all that, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be Lane's cup of tea. This is well, I don't want to say it's unsweet tea.
No, it is unsweet tea. That's the problem.
Well, I don't want to say unsweet tea because I also don't like unsweet tea.
Oh, wait.
Because I'm
I
very
turned that.
excited for this.
I turned that around in my head. My bad.
Because for you, it's unsweet tea.
For me, it's unsweet tea. For you, it's the sweetest it could be.
I don't want to say
I
sweetest it
did
can
mean
be
it. Well, I did. I was just saying something and it ended up rhyming, so I took off with it.
because I love sweet
But
tea.
see,
I don't
here's what
like.
we're gonna
I
have to
don't,
do. You're gonna have to talk. I know we're gonna end up doing an episode in October. That's gonna be a you thing, talking about all these like Halloween stuff. Or if we do something
yeah,
else, I don't know. But
yeah. I know Halloween's. And I live in Orlando. Halloween's coming up quick. Disney has already started their
oh,
Halloween parties.
August 1st. No,
August 9th was the first Disney Magic Kingdom Halloween party.
that doesn't surprise me at all.
And Universal starts their Halloween Horror Nights on the 31st. And oh no, the 29th. And I'll be there the 31st. So yeah, Halloween's officially started here in Orlando, folks. Get out your costume so you can have a heat stroke in Magic Kingdom.
Oh my gosh, that's
uh,
terrible.
but
But
to wrap
also,
up
I've seen it happen.
yeah, it does, because it is August. It is
Jeez.
still very hot and humid here.
Yeah.
Uh, but to wrap up the Disney entertainment section of this, they ended with the Disney movies as they would. It's a Disney thing.
Hmm.
They officially kind of talked about the Freaky Friday sequel for Freakier Friday.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I like the first one. I mean, the first one came out when I was a kid, so
Yeah,
that was like I
I
think
think
2005, 2004. So I was maybe like a middle schooler. So like that would have been right up my alley. I'm excited for it though, to see what they do with it. One of the things I'm very excited for is Tron Ares. And apparently they did show footage. I haven't seen anything from it. I feel like an island of minority of people that like Tron Legacy.
it's. Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
No, what did you? No,
I feel like I'm in the minority of people that like Tron Legacy, the second Tron
I
movie.
did. I didn't feel like there was a minority of that. I love Tron Legacy.
A lot of people don't like it.
Really,
Yes,
it's funny because you say that. I've literally within the past like month, I feel like I've met more people that loved Tron Legacy than the other way.
I feel like Tron Legacy was just like the first one. I think it was ahead of its time, but
I'll give you
also not at the same time because it came out 20 years after this first one.
that. Yeah. So, but
Uh,
I'm like,
but I know
I'm
so many people who talk about that the story drags and it's boring. I'm like, no, it's a slow burn. Listen,
yeah. There's a difference, and
there's
I
a
get it.
difference.
And
But also, I know a lot of people had that same feeling about the first Dune movie. That like it's a slow burn movie, and I like the first Dune
yeah,
a lot. I like
I
Tron Legacy a lot. I'm very excited for Tron Ares, especially since they announced that they're coming to the real world looking for Flynn.
but Flynn was left in the.
Wait, I might not have said that right. They're looking for something. I forgot what they said they're looking for. I thought they said they were looking for Flynn. I could be
Well,
wrong.
Flynn was left in the.
Now you're saying that. I'm like, yeah, he was left there. He stayed there with Clue. They let his son and the other Olivia Wilde character get away. Maybe they're looking for them.
Maybe.
Either way, so they're coming to the real world. People said the footage looked great to the point that it like broke Twitter for a minute.
I need that to leak. I'm gonna look for it. I'm
It's
gonna be
probably
honest
out
with
there
you.
somewhere. Um, but the two other things I remember them talking about, the big things of note, is probably one of them is definitely one of the biggest things that I've heard people talking about, and not necessarily in the more positive light. And that's that they dropped the trailer for Snow White.
Hmm.
Now, I will say my my outlook on Snow White shifted closer to positive after watching the trailer. I'm not saying it's right there at it. There's very uncanny valley in some moments. But I'm still like, I guess we'll see. You there?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm sorry. Because it's definitely one of those things. It's like I was not interested in. That was one of those movies that I did not actually want a live action remake of, and it was for multiple reasons. But so I've honestly, never truly been excited about that. So for me, it's hard to change. I don't know. I don't. Since the announcement, I was kind of like, okay. And then Rachel got announced. I was like, okay. Nothing against her. I've seen her in some great stuff. And then Gal Gadot got announced. I was like, interesting choice. Okay.
I will say, in costume, Gal Gadot
She
looked
looks the
like the
part.
evil queen.
Yeah. I think that was pretty well casted.
I just want to
But
see if she
everything
can
else,
juggle the two sides of the duality of that character, because she's going to have to play the hag too.
yeah. And that's where I'm curious about everything. And just looking at everything purely from the entertainment standpoint, I think it's gonna get interesting fast.
Yeah,
That's all I'm really kind of saying is we're gonna know probably within the first, if I'm being honest, probably within the first 4 hours of that movie being out, if it's good or bad. And we won't be able to trust completely. We won't be able to trust um
all the word.
the website Rotten Tomatoes,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah.
definitely gonna get review bombed
For sure, for sure.
within the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So I say we'll find out in the first 4 hours, but it's really gonna be like if we don't see it within the first 4 hours of it being out or the first day of it being out, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because it's not one that I'm really wanting to go see. I don't really feel like I care too much to go watch it
right.
because I was so in love with the original that I even had a hard time going to watch. Still haven't seen Beauty and the Beast live action. Haven't seen Mulan. Haven't seen Lion King because I love the original animated one so much that I struggle with the idea of
So you did not see Beauty
going.
and the Beast?
I have not seen Beauty and the Beast live action for
Okay,
multiple reasons.
I will
But
say that's the one I would recommend seeing out of all of them. You just said.
but if I'm gonna be honest, it's the one that I really really don't want to because I've heard things about it. I've heard the singing from it, and I just kind of had that moment that I was like, you know what? I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay without seeing it. Um, but Lion King was kind of the one that I was like kind of curious about, honestly.
Yeah.
That was and I think part of that is also because of another one we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, and I feel like we're actually going to talk about this because there's two people inside me talking about Mufasa, the Lion King,
Yeah.
because they released the official trailer because they had the teaser trailer before, which I think the teaser trailer is breathtaking. It's really good. This trailer is not great. And I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie. I just feel like it's a badly structured trailer.
And here's the funny thing: I don't think I saw the first trailer, and I liked this trailer.
My thing with the trailer is I feel like they showed too much.
I'll give you that. I will
They
definitely give you
should.
that.
There's a piece in the middle because like I feel like the trailer flows very well until it shows the white lions,
Hmm.
and then I'm like, okay, and then it shows more of that, and then the way it ends good. If they took the part out in the middle about the white lions, like from the trailer, you can still be in the movie, but take them out the trailer. I think it'd been a better trailer for me because I really like the fact that they're bringing in Taka, which is good. The lion that will soon. Well, I don't want to say soon. Will eventually become Scar, and it's real interesting that they're not blood brothers. That. But here's an interesting thing, and I didn't know you hadn't seen the Lion King until this moment, and it's something I wanted to bring up. Before we started recording, I watched the trailer for Mufasa and Snow White again. I watched all the trailers again so I could get a more fresh take on them. I noticed something I didn't notice the first time. One of the biggest complaints about the first Lion King movie is that the animals don't emote like humans do. They emote like the animals do. And that's something that like I didn't realize when I saw the first showing opening night for the Lion King. Lion King's my favorite movie. I love animals. I've studied animals my whole life. So I saw the animals emoting. So it didn't click in my brain that people can't see that because that lion's not smiling, it's not happy. It's like, no, no, but look at the ears. and the, uh so from a zoology standpoint, I like that part. But the lions in Mufasa are like legit smiling now. And like
Okay.
emoting. And I think they did that to combat, or I don't say combat, I don't want to say that, to
To
address
compensate almost,
yeah,
or
to address the fact that like, hey, we saw your worry about that here. And it doesn't look unnatural like I thought it would. Because they didn't announce that was gonna be a thing they were gonna do. Because I didn't even pick up on the first time. But I was like, I don't know if you can have a photorealistic lion smile and it not look weird. But then I saw like Mufasa and Taka were smiling and some things. I'm like, oh, actually, that don't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. So, um, yeah, my brother actually said back when the teaser trailer dropped, he's like, I feel like the 2019 Lion King movie was the movie they wanted to make, or no, this movie is the movie they wanted to make, but they had to make the other one first, so they could make a prequel to that one.
it makes a lot of sense.
I don't think that's the case. I think the reason we got this movie is because the other Lion King movie in 2019 made over $1 billion. So,
I don't know, because it definitely. I kind of see
but
it both ways. I can
but
see it both ways.
if you
I
can,
can.
but the thing is, you probably already have those discussions where like, hey, if this is a hit, where do we go from here? I think this is the logical next step
Okay.
because this and people, it's not a remake. This is an original story. We've heard like the behind the scenes kind of story of Mufasa and Taka and how he got the name Taka being Scar and how he got the name of Scar and how he got the Scar. Like we've heard those stories in what would be like the
See, it's
whispers.
funny you say that. I've never heard a name.
Yeah, this is more about more people in the Lion King fandom like me
Oh, okay.
know about Taka, and the Taka is Swahili for trash. So that's um
Well,
so.
fun.
But when you read the other story, it's like no wonder Scar hated Mufasa. His name is Trash, and then he gave him a nickname Scar because he got a scar when he got attacked by a wildebeest.
And now we find out that they're not even blood brothers.
Yeah, this story they're not even doing brothers, which makes the whole thing make sense even more because in this movie it looks like Mufasa has lost his pride and they bring him in they get close, and somehow down the road, Mufasa becomes king. So I understand why Scar a little bit miffed.
I
When
also
he's
just
like,
realized something else.
when he should be first in line. I get it. You were first in line.
Scar is
Mufasa
in
got a
this.
fast pass.
He, jeez. Okay, I'm not even gonna say my thought now. That's
Oh
a good
man,
way to. I love that Mufasa got a fast pass because he can Mufasa.
I gotta tell you, my brother just walked into my room and applauded that joke he heard from the other side of the room.
This is fantastic.
I didn't have that joke wrote down. I literally thought
Oh
about
my
that while we
god.
were talking.
This is one of the 1,000,005 reasons we hang out in person and virtually.
Yeah. Speaking of virtually, that's the end of what they talked about at the entertainment panel. Uh, in the Disney Experiences panel, uh they talked about something you're very excited about. We've talked about
Okay.
this a lot, and we've talked about the fact that I don't know anything about this,
You
and you
don't
wa-
you
and
you avoid it
it's
with
like
like the plague.
it's like your life goal to get me to know this.
Yeah, cuz it's funny that you don't. And I I play Fortnite. I'll say it. I
And
play Fortnite
I
and
don't.
he actively avoids it
That I
because his
felt you know what that
friends
felt like? The
want
way we
him to
did
play.
that. Do you remember the old Apple computer commercials where I'm a Mac and I'm a PC,
Uh-huh.
and they'd
Uh-huh.
be like, I can do this. It's like I can't. When we did that, it's like I play Fortnite. It's like I don't. It felt like that commercial.
So wait, which
Uh,
am I the Mac or am I the PC? I don't remember.
well, the fact that I said I don't would actually put me on the PC, and I'm currently
Okay.
using a PC, so
Which is even funnier because I'm actually using a Mac.
that's what I thought you were. I was like,
So that analogy works out a little too well. Um, but on that note, by the way, you're on point with the segues today. Um,
thanks. We didn't plan any of that.
no, we really
If
did.
we could show
We
people what
are.
our outline right now literally says animation panel, entertainment panel, Fortnite, parks panel.
That's it. That's the whole outline. I will say too, we're also reaching this point because we're.
Oh
It's close
no,
to midnight.
no! In my time zone,
It's after midnight. Yours time
we
zone.
got there. We got there.
We have reached Jordan after midnight.
Lane's almost
We're
here.
almost to the. I want to try to finish recording before we reach that because
Luckily, we're coming to the end, folks. We're wrapping it up. I
w-
promise.
I will say this: I know I've mentioned Fortnite before, but they made a few extra announcements while at D23, and I was actually able to jump into to Fortnite to watch that portion. They like streamed that in game, which is really cool. I saw that they're doing, and they made some non-Fortnite announcements while they were doing. Oh, I'd say announcements. Apparently, they've already talked about it, but things that I just learned about through this panel. Um, they're bringing. They actually today we're recording today, the 12th of August, and they just brought in Moff Gideon and wearing his version of Mandalorian armor and IG-11 into Fortnite as purchasable characters. And there's now a back bling as well that it really goes with IG-11, but you can really kind of get it on whatever character you want, I guess, technically. Which I've been thinking about it to put it on the back of my Mando character that I've owned forever and a day now. Um, but it's Grogu with one of those like blue macaroons that he eats in the third season, and then it
Uh,
in one of the seasons,
maybe I think it's maybe the second.
whichever one has the school. I thought that was the third season.
It is. You're right. You're right.
Oh,
You're
okay,
right.
cool. Because he steals him from a kid.
Yeah, because isn't that planet where
It's the same planet where
that's
the
the side quest
plant.
episode, right?
Yeah, I think so. Where the
Like,
plant dude is attacking. He's like a knockoff of Groot, almost. Or somewhere
I need to
between
watch.
Groot and Swamp Thing,
I
something.
need to watch this show again.
That's where the guy that looks like the character from Skeleton Crew. That's the episode arc that he's in
Ah, okay.
because he's in that fighter. Um, so they brought in Moff Gideon, they brought in IG-11, they brought in the back bling has Grogu in the back holding on to like this looks like a foil, like a cup made out of tinfoil, and a blue macaroon in the other hand. He eats the macaroon. It's a reactive one, so as you're like doing stuff, he like moves and stuff. But he eats the macaroon and then he spits up on himself. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw that at the panel. I thought it was the most hilarious and adorable thing ever. And then he spit up and was like, "That's hilarious." And then I opened up Fortnite tonight and I was gonna go buy it and I was like, "That's not as hilarious now that I'm looking at it in Fortnite." So I'm holding off for a couple of days to decide. I'm not interested in IG-11, but I think I'm gonna get the. I've been thinking about getting Moff Gideon because I think his armor just looks amazing. Later this year, we're getting Disney villains, so you can quite literally run around uh, Fortnite as Captain Hook, which they've already done Pirates of the Caribbean. They've already done all this other stuff. And then they didn't, I don't think they announced when. They may have said later this year, early next year, next month. I don't remember. But the Incredibles are coming to Fortnite as well, which is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because of the premise that what these characters are doing. They're on an island with guns, eliminating each other. So it's really kind of interesting that they're going to bring those characters into Fortnite. But what I absolutely love and absolutely look forward to is one day they're actually talking about having it to where people can, because right now you can already build like your own maps and your own, essentially your own worlds. But if I remember correctly, like there's going to be certified Disney worlds that you can go to and do things. And I saw like they had this big picture that was released right when they announced the like Epic Games was selling a portion to Disney, that there was like a Star Wars island that so you'll be able to go play in Hoth. You'll be able to go to Pandora. And now that we've got a third movie coming out, I'm really hoping that it's like 3 separate islands where you can go visit the like Avatar 1, that area, or like the facility, and maybe you change from a human character to a Na'vi character, which would be really cool. Because you can change costume in some maps, so it'd be really cool to be able to change from like a human-esque character to a Na'vi character for the story of that world. And then it'd be really cool to have a Way of Water map, and then Fire and Ash as well. And then there's other maps, and there's racing and stuff like that. There's a racing game mode. I really want Lightning McQueen to be in Rocket Racing.
Hmm.
More than I realized. Because he's already in Rocket League. So his files are there. There'd have to be some playful programming they would have to do. But I would love to see Lightning McQueen and Mater. Just picture Mater driving down a racetrack at 200 miles an hour backwards. But that's kind of my thought. I would love to see some of that. There's some other racers that I would love to see. But I'm absolutely drawing a blank right this second. But there's different Disney things that are coming, and I
And
cannot explain
there was actually
how
a
excited I
moment
am.
during the Fortnite presentations where I said, I think they're going to use this as a segue. I think I texted that to you. Because they announced, because it was right in the middle of the Disney Parks panel. I'm like, why are they doing this now? And they announced that villains are coming to Fortnite, Disney villains, that they're getting the Mando expansion stuff, and then the Avengers big event they're doing. And I'm like, how much you want to bet they're going to use this as a segue, and that the next few things we're going to hear about are related to this, and they did that. It went straight into Avengers, and they talked about during that part. Dave Filoni did say that they're adding the Mandalorian and Grogu mission to Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's
Which
Run.
you knew about, right?
Not specifically.
Okay. I hadn't heard any sort of inkling about that.
Well, I
And
knew
I
that they
I almost am included.
when they announced Smuggler's Run way back when, before they even started, when they announced Galaxy's Edge, that was the announcement that there could be different missions, that you could get different missions, and this is the first time they've really done that.
I need that in my life. I
And
need to fly the Millennium Falcon
next to the Razor Crest,
next to the Razor
being
Crest, or
being
with
driven by
him.
Zeb and Mando.
I need it. That's what I need. And I need to have a patch, like a razor, like like a mudhorn patch on a hat, and I need to
Right,
wear
right.
this, and that is going to be my life for the next Lord knows how long, because of course it will. Sorry, I'm literally like, it's all I can think about right now is flying the Millennium Falcon, have Chewbacca screaming at me, and Mando looking at me through the window.
Yeah,
My nerd radar just went off like crazy. Sorry.
but they also announced, because as soon as I saw they say Disney villains with the Fortnite announcement, I'm like, oh, here we go. We're going to use this as a segue,
Ah,
and they did end the night with a formally announcing the um the villains land at the Magic Kingdom here in
mhm.
Orlando, and I something I honestly can't believe is happening.
I don't think anybody had that anywhere on a radar.
A lot of people around here are saying that Disney probably had no intentions of greenlighting this project until they
Mhm.
found out that Universal down the street had greenlit a Universal Monsters Land for Epic Universe, and they probably greenlit it to compete.
Which is smart.
And as I used to have a friend I used to work with, because back in the day, Disney and Universe were always back and forth at each other around here, and he's like, "You know who wins in the theme park wars? We do." And I feel like it's the same way. Not only do we get Universal Monsters at Epic Universe, we're going to get a Disney Villains Land at the Magic Kingdom. And in that concept art, I saw a roller coaster going past a Maleficent dragon, and the coaster tracks were made of thorns, and I need it right now.
We need it yesterday. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I
But before we go, we're not going to go in detail about everything announced at this panel, because
No.
this panel, there was a
There was
lot.
so much.
So let's kind of bring it down to this. I know there's one thing, let's talk about this first. But we'll end on the positive note of what our favorite thing announced was. I know there's one thing they did announce that we were both very conflicted and like about when they announced it, and that was
Okay.
the that Disneyland is getting a show with an animatronic Walt Disney for the first time.
Yes. I feel like this is a good way. So, what is your? I know that you and I really agreed on. I don't want to say gripe. Gripe is really the wrong word. But our fear, I guess.
Yeah, because it is kind of, and this is funny that we're ending this episode with this, because we kind of started it the same way. It's really all going to depend on how they do this. I really don't want them to use an AI Walt voice to create new things for Walt to
Mm.
say. I'd rather them find archival audio footage, which we know exists, of Walt talking about his life growing up and his projects and his love for Feed the Birds, because they did say there's going to be a Feed the Birds scene in the show, and I'm like, oh, that's going to make me cry, because that song makes me cry every time. But I guess once we find out more about it, I'll be a little more where I sit on it. But right now, I'm very.
And I'll even say this: I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. But I will say I will accept one use of AI to make the voice.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm very cautious when I say this, to clean up any recordings,
So not to create new,
not to create, but
but
to
to
fix.
fix.
Because the recording devices that we had during his day and time are different, so drastically so than the
Well,
ones we have today.
they could probably do that without AI too, because they did that a little bit. Because Hollywood Studios had the one man stream show. There's
Well,
some pretty decent sounding audio there that I'm pretty sure was cleaned up.
I'll wholeheartedly agree with you on that. My only thought process, the only reason I even bring up AI, is actually because of Randy Travis.
Yes.
He wrote a song apparently years ago before he had his stroke, and he wrote the song, had the stroke, never got to record it, and they used AI of his voice to make the words he wrote come to life. Does that
Got it.
make sense?
I
They
think so.
used like
Yeah.
a voiceover. They used somebody else talking and like almost superimpose on top of that through the AI. So it was stuff that Randy would have said or has said, just wasn't recorded.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I mean is that's the only thing, like, I simply mean, uh-oh.
Oh.
No, I think we're good. Something happened on the recording, but it looks like everything is okay.
Okay. Well, folks, you may or may not be hearing us right now tomorrow.
Um, I don't know if this is gonna be tomorrow, but we'll figure this out.
Oh, when this comes
Um,
out.
when this comes out, the only reason I say this is we may have just had technical issues. I'm so sorry if we did. I did not see it, so I don't know at what point this may or may not have stopped.
I guess if at some point when we get to hear the recordings, if we did lose something, we'll make a small part two and we'll cover over that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out when it comes to it.
But I think this is where we should wrap up because our final thing we want to talk about the Disney Parks panel. Everybody listening, we said it already. We're big fans of Disney Parks, things like that. What was your favorite thing they announced for the parks? And it could be anywhere in not just the parks here in the States. It could be one of the other parks. If you're excited we're getting 4 more cruise ships, you can say that too. What's your favorite thing they
Uh,
announced?
I will say I'm excited that Disney now has a navy. No,
13 ships.
jeez. There comes a point, guys. I mean, no, I'm kidding.
I
I
know
actually
that
really love it. I love it. But I will say that I think I don't know if I'm being completely totally and without a doubt like completely honest, the thing that I think I'm the most excited about, and it's gonna be so stupid when I say this out loud. I'm gonna get to fly the Millennium Falcon with Mandalorian and the Razor Crest out the window.
okay. Okay.
Because everything else, like I love all of everything else that was talked about, but it's either in a park that I've never been to and probably won't be able to go to within the next 10 years,
Hmm.
or is in a park that I may one day be able to get to if they do the right thing to airplanes. Because last I heard they were working on making wheelchair spots on planes, so I
Ooh.
don't actually have to transfer anymore. If they do that, then I can travel more. But I have no money to travel. So yeah. Um. So out of all of the announcements, the one that I feel like I have a likelihood to get to enjoy first, I don't know. That's kind of the one. Um.
Okay.
Every other announcement came with a caveat. But what about you? What is the thing you're most excited about?
I had a few things that really stuck out. From a point of like things I'm going to be able to actually probably like same way you actually experience. There's a chance I can get some of the international parks, but just I live in Orlando.
We'll just have to plan a
Uh,
trip together. That's what it is.
yeah. The Villains Land I'm very excited for. I like the concept art a lot. That roller coaster looks great. I'm pretty sure I saw a zero line heart roll in there. That messed that word up a lot. Anyways, roller coaster fans know what I was trying to say. But I'm very excited for that. They're finally doing the door coaster that we've heard people ask about for I feel like since that movie came out, since the Monsters Inc. movie came out at Hollywood Studios. That's exciting. Internationally, like I'm a big fan of the Lion King, so the fact that there's finally a Lion King ride coming to one of the parks is exciting, and it's actually making me want to go to what is considered to be, at least currently, before times, the worst of the Disney theme parks, and the second park in Paris. So that's exciting. I don't know. There's a lot of exciting things on the horizon, and I guess that's why they call it Horizons, huh?
What? Okay, that put two and two together. Gosh dang it!
Also, the thing that made me excited is I saw things from the panel that they did, and they legit got like everybody. They got the ears guy back from the Soaring pre-show to take his ears off again.
It was so. I loved that, and I love that they posted that like so that everybody could enjoy that. My heart skipped a beat just seeing everybody truly enjoy those roles again.
Yeah.
As simple as they were, they mean so much to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Uh, the Avengers ride that's coming to the Avengers campus sounds really cool.
So that's one
Uh,
thing. Yeah, if I knew that I could get out there, that would be the thing. But I don't know. See, that's the
but
thing is
yeah,
we just need to plan a trip together. You and I need to go with our friends or group of friends or something, and we just hit all the parks around the world, and we will
yeah,
do an entirely separate podcast where we talk about the Disney parks around the world. We'll
yeah.
have
We'll hit a
like a
vlog it.
5-hour special. We'll vlog it. We'll post it one day. If this podcast ever gets popular enough that we can actually travel and do stuff, I would love to go visit the parks and go to like these different Comic Cons and stuff. So
But
I'm grateful that so many people tweet out and so many people give out information, and that even like the companies that go to San Diego Comic Con and even those that go to um, D23, like everybody makes content. So we're never fighting for information.
yeah, some of it may be a little harder to find in legal senses.
Well, that's a little vague, but yes.
Well, you know what I mean, like
No, I know
leaks
what
and
you.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like
like
technically not
legality is
the.
kind of a weird thing, but
It's not illegal for me to look at it. It's illegal for a guy to post it.
yes, technically.
I know I said that for. I think it was the. I think it was the entertainment panel. They didn't stream it, so I was refreshing Twitter, getting all the information, and finding people that were live tweeting from the building. And I legit at one point said, "Man, somebody just, take the bullet. Let me see."
Risk everything.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I think that about covers everything that
this
was
has been.
announced that
Oh,
we at
I'm
least
so
cared
excited.
about.
Yeah, that's the thing is, please understand, like this is all stuff that we're just. This is the stuff we're excited
I
about. The
mean,
stuff that we can't wait for.
San Diego Comic Con is 4 days worth of from morning to night content. We can't talk about it all. A lot of it we don't well, for one know about or necessarily vibe with. So, but if it's yours, hey, go for it. If you had an announcement at San Diego Comic Con you loved, let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, comment down. What was your favorite thing that got announced? If you're listening on another platform, go to YouTube and let us know.
It's all the same name on every platform. So,
It is. We kept it nice and streamlined and easy for you.
but all right.
This
Well,
is fun.
thank you for joining. And
and we're gonna hope you heard the entire thing.
I did just
This,
realize this is like 3 hours long.
this is
To
the officially
we
the longest.
quite literally, but it's a special. So just wait till Christmas. That one will probably be. I'll probably beat that one by like an hour and a half. Anyway.
I don't know. You say that, but every time we say it's gonna be a long episode, we go short. And we said it's gonna be
Yep.
short, we go long. So
Yep. Okay, we've officially reached the lane is about to go after midnight.
I'm about to go after one. So
Yeah, so you need bed. I need bed. So on that note,
and water. I just talked for 3 hours.
that's true too. That's probably a good idea. All right. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening, everybody.